enjoy tremendous success here in Oakland this summer.
It should be pointed out, Tom, that early in the ball game, the sun may be a factor, especially for Terrence Long in center field and Adam Pyatt in right field. I don't really think it's going to bother the hitters that much, although you see the infield clearly in the shadows, while the center field area, the hitter's backdrop in the bright sunlight. The lights here at the Coliseum are very, very good. And even at this point in the ball game with the shadows the way they are, I think the hitters won't have any problems picking up the pitches.
Well, we know about the hitters. We know about the outfielders. How about the home plate umpire, Rick Reed? For more on that, let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team, Josh Lewin.
It's an excellent question, Tom. I talked to home plate umpire Rick Reed just before the game. He says the glare is absolutely an issue for the home plate umpire. Keep in mind, these umpires are working on a short night just like the players. They got up at 5 a.m. Eastern time to catch a 7 a.m. flight to get out of here. They're on 5 hours sleep and fighting the glare just like the A's and Yankees.
Josh, thank you. Great to have you with us once again. Josh Lewin working on little sleep. He's been hanging out in New York as well. This broadcast also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. Chuck Knobloch, a 32-year-old four-time All-Star, native of Houston, Texas. Got the start in game one, went 1 for 4, and he begins game 2 with a line drive base hit right field. So just like that, Knobloch able to give him something out of the DH spot. It's only been a 133 average out of that position the first 4 games of the series.
That's why Joe Torre reinserted Knobloch into that lineup. He is the spark plug at the top of this Yankees order. When he gets on base, things happen. It opens up holes for the remainder of this Yankees lineup. Of course, Knobloch involved in the midst of a controversy, did not take ground balls back in New York. And, you know, when you don't tie your shoes right in New York, it suddenly becomes a controversy. Knobloch said, I'm not playing. You know, why should I go out there and, you know, risk further injury to my elbow? But he's in there offensively tonight and gets the Yankees off to a good start.
Now Derek Jeter, a .339 hitter during the regular season, 15 homers, 73 knocked in. They'll keep an eye on Knobloch, who stole 15 bases during the regular season. Jeter, a quiet series to some extent, at least compared to those in years past, where he has always been a phenomenal postseason performer. 3 hits, 15 at bats, has knocked in 2 runs in the series. Shows bunt and takes up an in. Ball 1. Heredia, 34 years old, a native of Nogales, Arizona, originally drafted by the Giants out of the University of Arizona. 2 years later was loaned to the Mexican League. 3 years later claimed on waivers by Montreal, was there for 4 years, released by Texas, released by the Cubs. And again Jeter shows bunt, and again it's called a ball. 2-0. But then the A's decided, after Matt Stairs had played with Heredia in the Mexican League 3 years ago, Stairs told Art Howe and general manager Billy Beane, hey, this guy can still pitch. Stairs and Heredia play together in Montreal. They signed him to a minor league deal. Won 13 games last year, 15 this year. 3-0 to Jeter.
Now, Heredia is not the type of pitcher that would immediately impress a scout. He doesn't throw overly hard. His breaking ball is not that crisp. He's a crafty veteran out there on the mound. We talked about his control will determine the length of his evening tonight.
3-1 to Jeter, still showing bunt. Do you think he means it?
Well, I think he probably did early in the count, but when Heredia started struggling with his control, I think that was just a bluff to try to get Heredia to throw another ball right there. Look for a possible hit and run right here. Knobloch runs very well at first base. We know Jeter handles the bat very well.
Runner is going, and it's taken ball 4 inside, and just like that, the 2-time defending champion World Series winners, the New York Yankees, 2 on with nobody out in the opening inning.
The batter, number 21.
You know, you talk to managers before a big game in the postseason, and then almost to a man, they all say they're not going to do anything differently than they've done all year long. They're going to stick with the game plan that got them into the postseason, but I really had the feeling, just reading between the lines for both of these managers, that they may play for a run early in the ball game, knowing the importance of this game.
Paul O'Neill, 2 hits and 14 at-bats in a series. He has bounced into 2 double plays in a series. Ball 1 away. O'Neill, a .283 hitter during the regular season, 18 home runs, 100 runs batted in. He has the first 2 on, nobody out. On the outside corner at Eddings, 1 ball, 1 strike on Paul O'Neill. O'Neill in his career against Heredia, only 4 hits and 24 at-bats. That's a .167 batting average. High chopper off the plate. Tejada has to wait and has no throw. An infield hit for O'Neill, and the Yankees have the bases loaded with nobody out.
Paul O'Neill's been bothered by a bad hip most of this season. Chops that ball right off of home plate. One thing you can be sure of from Paul O'Neill, he may not be at 100%, but you're going to get 100% of whatever he's got available on a given night. Tejada wisely just held on to that ball. No play at first.
Now they're loaded for Bernie Williams. 5 hits and 16 at-bats during the series. Has 3 doubles. A .307 hitter during the regular season, 31 home runs, 121 runs batted in. Knobloch, Jeter, O'Neill aboard with none out.
A's defensively playing for the double play. The middle infielders playing back, as is Jason Giambi over at first base. Only the third baseman, Eric Chavez, drawn in even with the baseline. Time you mentioned the Oakland Raiders playing this afternoon just across the bay. Of course, they play their home games here on this field, and it is a mess. A lot of patched areas on this field, a lot of areas where the temporary football bleachers come out onto the field to play. A lot of bad hops on this field right now.
0-1 to Bernie Williams. You saw the numbers in Williams' career, 9 grand slams. This season, 9 hits and 13 at-bats with the bases loaded. A .692 average with 2 grand slams. But outstanding numbers for Heredia in these situations.
Something's got to give.
Sooner or later. Good off-speed pitch there from the Oakland right-hander, 1-1.
You know, a common mistake that young pitchers make when they get into a jam, they try to throw harder. Gil Heredia taking a lot off here. A changeup fading down and away from Bernie Williams. Those veteran pitchers find a way to take advantage of the aggressiveness of a hitter in this particular situation.
Bases loaded, nobody out, 1-1 pitch. Lined into right field, caught by Pyatt. Tagging and scoring is Knobloch. A sac fly run batted in for Bernie Williams, and the Yankees have a 1-0 lead.
I would anticipate the A's appealing Knobloch leaving third base too soon. Indeed, timeout has already been called, so Gil Heredia is going to have to get back up on the mound, go into his set position, and then appeal the play at third base. Let's take a look at the swing of Bernie Williams. Just a screaming line drive into right field. Adam Pyatt with a little bit of indecision out there in right. First it looked like he was going to hold up and let the ball drop. As that ball continued to carry, he came in, made the shoestring catch. Knobloch tagged at third base. The A's are saying that he left the bag too soon. You'll see Heredia step off the rubber now, appeal over to third base.
Kerwin Danley says no deal. It's 1-0 Yankees officially.
I mean, it was worth a try by the A's. You see Pyatt coming in, making the shoestring catch. And Knobloch, to his credit, he went back to the bag immediately when he saw the ball hit into the air, tagged up, and got such a great jump that the A's felt perhaps he left the bag too soon. But in the estimation of Kerwin Danley, he did not.
1 in, 2 on, 1 out for David Justice. .286 hitter during the season with Cleveland and the Yankees, a career high 41 home runs, 118 knocked in. 2 low, 2 balls and no strikes. Phenomenal numbers for David Justice after coming over for Ricky Leday and a pair of minor leaguers. In 78 games, he led the Yankees in both home runs and the 60 runs batted in. Howe told us before the game, more than likely if Heredia ran into any trouble early on, they'd look for Kevin Appier to get warmed up. Strike called to Justice, 3-1.
You just do not have the luxury to allow a pitcher to work through his problems in a Game 5 situation. The A's already trailing by a run here in the first inning. You just got to get into that bullpen early if necessary. You cannot allow the Yankees to build up a big lead.
3-1 to David Justice. And it's ball 4 low, and the Yankees have him loaded again. Second walk in the inning by Heredia. Rick Peterson, the Oakland pitching coach, will come out for a visit. And already the phone is ringing in the bullpen.
Now, Rick Peterson used a golf analogy when referring to Gil Heredia. His teammates call him Dr. Gil. As you see Jeff Tam beginning to move around down there in the A's bullpen, they call him Dr. Gil Heredia because he loves to play golf. And he said as far as his pitching goes, it's like a golfer. You can whittle those first 10 strokes off of your handicap rather quickly. It's that last 2 or 3 strokes as you're trying to get down into a position where you're a good golfer. And he said that Gil Heredia this year whittled those last 2 or 3 strokes off his handicap and really became a legitimate major league pitcher.
It's interesting to note that Heredia was always known as having great control. The last 3 years, he walked only 51 batters in over 300 innings. But this year, he walked nearly 70 hitters in less than 200 innings. They're loaded for Tino Martinez. Strike 1. Martinez 5 hits and 14 at bats in the series with a run batted in. A down year overall for Tino. The 16 home runs and 91 runs batted in. Jeter, O'Neill, and Justice aboard in the New York first. 1-1.
You know, Tom, that high base on balls total for Gil Heredia doesn't necessarily mean that he lost his control. If anything, maybe it means that his control is better than ever, and he's pitching around certain guys in the lineup, pitching to game situations, and willing to give up a base on balls if it means it sets up a better situation going after the next hitter.
Grounded foul. Heredia in front of Tino at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now, good control doesn't necessarily mean you throw a strike on every pitch. It means you can throw every pitch wherever you want to, and sometimes that's out of the strike zone.
The Yankees trying to do to the A's on their home field what the A's did to the Yankees in the Bronx last night. Fly ball into right center field. Terrence long drifting. He can't get it. It's off the wall. Jeter scores. O'Neill being waved around. Here comes Bernie Williams. A 3-run double by Tino Martinez, and the Yankees in front 4-0.
Talk about that bright sunlight affecting the center fielder and the right fielder. Terrence Long with a terrible jump on this ball hit to center field. Tino Martinez reaching out, golfing that low fastball to straightaway center field. Long started gliding over as if he were going to make a routine catch, and then suddenly turned his back to the infield, and on a dead sprint goes all the way back to the wall in center.
David Justice, the final runner to score, actually stopped at third. And Willie Randolph, the longtime Yankee great, said, "Come on."
You see Long battling that sun even as he looks in for the pitches.
Ball one lone away to Jorge Posada. As Tam continues to crank it up, and Andy Pettit, a very long and enjoyable top half of the first inning, will go back down to the Yankee pen.
Now, this is one time a starting pitcher doesn't mind going to the bullpen to throw a few warm-up pitches when your team is having an extended first inning of the game.
A liner off of Heredia, and that'll be an infield hit by Posada. Now they're going to come out and take a look at Gil Heredia. A line drive right back to the box.
Larry Davis, the head trainer, having a look at Gil Heredia. The pitch out over the plate, line back through the box. Looked like it hit him on the right leg, the right knee area somewhere. It's that split finger out over the plate. Got him on the outside of the right thigh.
So that's going to do it for Gil Heredia. He's given up 4 runs here in the top of the first. Jeff Tam will take over from the A's bullpen. A very short Game 5 outing by Gil Heredia. He lasts a third of an inning, allows 4 hits, walks 2 so far, has given up 4 runs. And he'll give way to right-hander Jeff Tam, who had a terrific season for Art Howe.
Tam tied for third in the American League among relievers with his 2.63 earned run average. Also appeared in 72 games, which was tied for 7th in the American League. This guy was a non-roster invitee to spring training. Did such a great job for the A's. They signed him to a contract, and he's been one of their most used relievers this season. Not exactly what Gil Heredia and Art Howe had in mind for this start tonight.
Runners on the corners, 4 runs home here in the Yankee first inning. The 8th man to bat, Luis Sojo, has knocked in 4 runs in the series. And now he has more than that. Hit to straightaway center field, Long back to get it. Tagging and scoring is Tino Martinez. Gives Sojo his 5th RBI of the series, and the Yankees lead 5-0. They have played like the 2-time defending world champions in the top half of this Game 5 so far.
And Terrence Long out there in center field once again. We mentioned the sun might not be a problem for the hitters. It's definitely a problem for the center fielders. Long started to come in on that ball, much like he did on the Tino Martinez double. This time he was able to retreat and make the play.
Now Scott Brocious, and he looks at a strike. Brocious 1 for 13 in the series with a double, a run batted in. You see his numbers during the regular season. Lined into center field, a base hit for Brocious. Posada advancing on to second. That is the 5th hit in the inning by the Yankees. Bobby, what do you think this does to the A's? I mean, they were the guys that jumped in front last night against Roger Clemens, really quieting the Yankee Stadium crowd. And here the Yanks throw a 5 spot on the board in the top of the first in Oakland.
Well, I think this is where this young A's ball club is really going to look to Jason Giambi on the field, also to the very calming influence of their manager, Art Howe. We were here just a couple of weeks ago, and we saw this A's ball club put 23 runs on the board. They know what they're capable of doing. But falling behind the defending world champions 5-0 in the first probably has them a little bit rattled right now.
That one nearly thrown by the pitcher Tam into center field.
Well, maybe some nerves on the part of Ramon Hernandez behind the plate. Even his throw back to the mound choked off and nearly thrown by Tam. He has to make a diving play. Tejada was right there to back it up. Should it have gotten by the Oakland pitcher? It's like the A's just need to take a big, deep breath.
Knobloch started what has been a 5-run first inning with a single into right. This one into short right and falls in front of Pyatt, a base hit. Rounding third and scoring is Posada, and Knobloch inserted back into the Yankees starting lineup. His second hit in the first inning. It is 6-0 New York. Wow.
Knobloch with that picture-perfect inside-out swing, driving that ball to the opposite field. Once again, some indecision on the part of Adam Pyatt. He started in initially as if he were going to try to make another shoestring catch. Slammed on the brakes, played that ball on a hop, and nowhere near in time to get Posada at home plate. And the thing is, the longer the A's stay out there on defense and the longer the Yankees hit, the further those shadows are going to move across the field. By the time the Yankees take the field, they won't have to deal with that bright sunlight out in the outfield.
Now Jeter, who walked and scored in the inning, taking off and going to second. They'll throw through, and it's not in time. Give Knobloch the stolen base.
Hernandez had his problems throwing out runners this year, caught only 22% of the attempted base stealers. Knobloch with just an uninhibited jump over there at first base. Tam paying very little attention to him. The head first slide in well ahead of any attempted tag.
That's the first stolen base of the series for the Yankees. Runners at second and third for Jeter. And a fly ball in the right center field. Pyatt waits, and the inning is over. But the Yankees, very much resembling the Bronx Bombers of the last two seasons, jump in front 6-0. The A's come to bat in the bottom half of the first inning, down 6, and the Autotrader.com starting lineup reads as follows. Terrence Long leads off in center field. Randy Velarde, the former Yankees second baseman, very good numbers in his career against Andy Pettitte. Jason Giambi at first. Olmedo signs a DH. Miguel Tejada at short. Eric Chavez at third. Pyatt in right, Grieve in left, and Ramon Hernandez behind the plate. And they'll be facing 19-game winner Andy Pettitte.
You see his numbers on the season against the A's this year in 2 starts. 17 innings pitched, surrendered only 9 base hits and 2 earned runs.
Long looks at a strike on the outside corner. Remember now, these Athletics, third in the American League in runs, second in the league in home runs. They drew the second most walks.
It's one thing to keep an eye on. The A's falling behind in this ball game early by 6 runs. They have been a very patient hitting ball club all season long, willing to work deep counts, force that opposing pitcher to run up his pitch count. See if the 6-run deficit causes them to be a little overly aggressive swinging the bats at the plate.
Oh, 2-1. And a bouncing ball, weakly hit to the right side. Soho's got it. Throws out long, one away. I think from now until the end of time, every time I see Soho field a ground ball here in Oakland, I'm going to remember that play when he fell over.
I wasn't laughing, believe me. It's a very embarrassing situation for a player who stepped on his own foot, tripped himself. And they were all able to have a big laugh about it afterwards, but I'm sure this was very embarrassing at the time, and given the game circumstance, could have caused a big difference in the ball game, but it didn't happen. Everybody was able to laugh about it afterwards. I mean, we've all done something stupid like that. Some of us do something stupid like that every day.
Or every 10 or 15 minutes. Strike one to Randy Velarde. 2 hits and 15 at bats in the series. A .278 hitter during the regular season. 12 homers and 41 batted in. Fastball away. 1-1 to Velarde.
We've heard of infielders having quick feet. I think in that particular instance, Soho had 1 quick foot and 1 very slow foot. And the slow one got in the way of the quick one.
Or as my granddad used to say, you dance like you have 2 left feet. Here's a 1-1. Breaking ball misses inside. Pettit, 28 years old, a native of Deer Park, Texas. The Yankees' 22nd round draft choice back in June of 1990. He chose to go to college and signed just days before the draft the following year, which meant if the Yankees didn't sign him, he would have gone back into the draft and somebody else could have taken him. They're glad they've got him. On the ground, Jeter knocks it down, can't find the handle. Infield hit for Velarde.
That ball appeared to take an odd hop as it went back up the middle of the field. Velarde hit the ball very hard. Looked like it may have ricocheted off the side of the mound or something. Jeter was able to get there, but the ball hit him in the heel of the glove. He was only able to knock it down, and it trickled far enough away to allow Velarde to reach first base.
Now the MVP candidate, Jason Giambi. 333 hitter during the season, 43 home runs, 137 knocked in. He's down a strike. Giambi 3 for 10 in the series, but has not driven in a run. He's been walked 7 times. Hit down the left field line, slicing foul and out of play, and Pettit jumps in front of Giambi at 0-2.
You know, Tom, I thought it was interesting. We talked to Thad Bosley, the hitting coach for the Oakland A's, before the ball game today about Jason Giambi. You see this guy, he's an imposing figure, 6'5", 235 pounds at the plate. And he said, but this guy has the quickest swing on this Oakland A's ball club. Not what you would expect from a big slugger. He can wait on the ball, allow it to get very near the hitting zone before he unleashes that lightning quick swing.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Giambi has gone on strikes. 2 away in the inning.
The batter, number 9, Almeida Osai.
Defensively behind Andy Pettit. Justice in left, O'Neill in right. And the Gold Glove defender Bernie Williams in center field. Brocious, Jeter, Soho, Tino Martinez third to first, a battery of Pettit and Posada.
Not a typical Jason Giambi at bat right there. Of course, Andy Pettit can do that to the best of hitters.
Olmedo signs the 3-run home run off Roger Clemens in the opening inning last night in the Bronx. Just a great deal of playing time this season due to a strained left hamstring. And he looks at a breaking ball, a strike, 1-1.
Well, you may hear the A's fans in the background. One reason they are not giving up is because it ain't over till it's over. 42 comeback wins on the season for the Oakland A's, including coming back from a 10-run deficit.
1-1. Swing and a foul tip. And now Pettit ahead at 1-2.
We've done games here throughout the course of the summer, Tom, and we've commented that it always feels like a college football game. They got the drummers out there in left field banging away. They've got cheers and chants for every player on this A's roster. There haven't been a lot of fans here at the Coliseum this year, but the ones that have come out have really been into the ball game.
Crowd away, still 1-2. Pettit has not lost a division series game since Game 5 at Cleveland on October 6, 1997. That was the last time the Yankees played a decisive game in the postseason, and obviously the last time the Yankees have been eliminated in the playoffs. In the air, short right center, backpedaling Soho, looking for help, and it drops. Holding at third is Velarde on a bloop single by Olmedo side.
Well, throughout the latter half of the season, Paul O'Neill has been forced to play extremely deep in right field. He's just been unable to go back on balls very well. And these little bloopers like this, you see Soho looking for help. Paul O'Neill's not even into your picture yet. Bernie Williams was shaded a little bit over into the gap in left center. He had a long way to go. Just perfectly dunked out there into no man's land by Almeida Signs.
It keeps the inning alive for Miguel Tejada. 4 of 15 in the series with a run batted in. He has a pair of doubles, 30 home runs during the regular season, and 115 batted in. Ball 1.
Well, Miguel has been from hot to hotter this season. A career year, 30 homers, 115 RBIs, setting Oakland record for shortstops.
Runners on the corners, 2-1, and it's 2-0 on Tejada. Ball, Soho charges. He'll throw the first, and that'll end the inning. 2 hits, 2 left. We played 1 in Game 5. Yankees 6, Athletics nothing. Yankees lead 6-0 as we go to the top of the second, and already the third pitcher employed by Art Howe, his Game 2 starter and loser, Kevin Appier.
In Game 2, he went 6 1/3, gave up 6 hits and 3 earned runs. He walked 5 batters in that ball game. You see 102 walks on the season in 195 1/3 innings pitched. The Yankees came out very aggressively against Gil Heredia, a control pitcher. See if they show a little more patience against Kevin Appier. This is his first relief appearance since May 18th, 1991 as a member of the Kansas City Royals.
O'Neill taking a hack at the first pitch up in the strike zone, and he's behind 0-1. O'Neill came to the plate with 2 on and nobody out in the first inning and hammered one off the plate that went out beyond the pitcher's mound for an infield hit. O'Neill to be followed in the inning by Bernie Williams and then David Justice. The sun will be less and less of a factor. The Yankees here in Game 5, a 6-run top half of the first inning. As O'Neill fouls it away, 1-2.
And you may be asking yourself at home, why would Art Howe bring in Jeff Tam to get out of that first inning and then go to Kevin Appier? I truly believe, and we talked about this between innings, Kevin Appier has been a starter all year. He takes a lot longer to get ready to come into the ball game than Jeff Tam would, who has been a reliever all season long. Tam got cranked up, loose, ready to go, came in, got the A's out of that first inning, and then Art Howe turns the ball over to Kevin Appier, hoping that the right-hander can give him 4, 5, maybe even 6 innings in this ball game and stop this Yankees offense.
Williams knocked in a run with a sac fly. Tino Martinez a 3-run double. Soho a sac fly run batted in. And Chuck Knobloch had 2 hits in the first inning, including a run-scoring single. Swing and a miss. O'Neill gone on strikes. Let's go downstairs to Josh Lewin.
Well, you know, Tom, with that big first inning, the Yankees more runs in that inning than in any of their previous 11 games. But the A's, you know, I talked to 2 different players. They both said the exact same thing. We're not panicking. And you look at that bench right now, you really do get that sense that they are absolutely not giving up here.
Josh, thank you very much. And that certainly would be the MO on Art Howe's team. Nobody gave him a chance to be in this position in the first place. Bernie Williams, first pitch swinging, pops it up into shallow left. Grieve is there, and the first 2 retired by Appier.
And so far, the Yankees not showing any patience whatsoever against Kevin Appier, attacking the first pitch they see. Paul O'Neill swung at the first pitch. Bernie Williams swings at the first pitch.
Left fielder David.
course, with a 6-run lead, you have that luxury of going to the plate and being a little more aggressive than you normally would. Had Apier been the starter in this game, I think the Yankees probably would have tried to draw a couple of walks, set the stage for a big inning. They've already had a big inning in this ball game.
Now David Justice. He looks at ball 1 down low. Justice walked and scored in the 6-run opening inning. Two and 0. Justice, the 34-year-old native of Cincinnati, has made the most postseason plate appearances in postseason history as it goes to 3-0. And his second in postseason runs batted in to the former A's and Yankee great, Mr. October himself, Reggie Jackson. And Justice walks on 4 straight.
The batter, first baseman,
Tino Martinez, a 3-run double to straightaway center field in the first inning. One on, 2 out. And a fastball is up and in.
They hit that ball to dead center field over the head of Terrence Long, who initially misjudged the ball. Went all the way to the wall in center field. Now that the sun is not as much of a factor, Long still playing very shallow out there in center field, but should be able to get a better jump should Martinez hit a similar ball in this at bat.
Foul out of play, third base side, even accounted 1-1. See the numbers for Martinez. He's locked up with Apier many times through the years. Chris Chambliss, former Yankee great and without a doubt a future big league manager. Probably not that far down the road. Breaking ball missed, blown away. 2-1 to Martinez. We mentioned a down year for him, his first season since coming from Seattle, but he failed to hit 25 home runs. He only had 16 and failed to drive in 100 runs, although only 9 short with 91 on the year.
Apier not getting the call on some borderline pitches near the bottom of the strike zone from home plate umpire Rick Reed. Those are pitches that he needs to get. Throws a sinking fastball, a split-fingered fastball, and a slider. And Apier likes to work down around the knees, try to get ground balls from opposing hitters. If he's not going to get that call, that'll force him to bring the ball up in the strike zone.
Which he does, and it's whacked into right field, a base hit by Tino Martinez. His second hit of the game, his 7th in the series.
Well, after not getting the call on the split finger down at the knees, comes back with a fastball about belt high, and Tino Martinez all over it. Second ball that he's hit right on the button in this ball game in 2 at-bats.
Justice at second, Martinez on at first. 2 away. Yankees in front 6-0, and now it's Posada. He hit that one hopper off the leg of Heredia, knocking him out of the game in the first.
Cross up right there. You can tell by the way Ramon Hernandez caught that pitch that he was completely fooled. He was anticipating a fastball. Apier threw a split finger at the last instant. He just stabs down toward the ground and is able to corral this pitch. Hernandez clearly fooled, as was Jorge Posada at the plate. Actually, that was a slider. I stand corrected. Very similar movement that Apier has on his split finger.
It was still called a strike despite the cross up. fastball up and in, even a count.
Left-handers have had much better success against Kevin Napier on the season. He doesn't throw as many sliders to the left-handed hitters as he does to the righties, although we saw him start Posada with a slider in this sequence.
Justice and Martinez aboard. And it's under the knees. 2 balls and a strike on Posada. Joe Torre, the manager of the American League in the All-Star Game, selected Posada to his first Midsummer Classic. Of course, Jeter, the first ever Yankee to win the MVP of an All-Star Game. 2-2.
They're going to be here all night regardless of the score, so get used to it.
That fellow's wearing 2 gloves tonight. When we were here a couple of weeks ago, he had 1 glove and went bareback on the other hand. What's changed?
It's postseason. He probably got new gloves from the glove company.
Yeah.
That foul ball out of play behind home plate, but it should be pointed out. A tremendous amount of foul ground here at the Coliseum, especially down both lines. Boy, hitters over the years have complained about losing at bats to those pop fouls that in many other ballparks would end up in the bleachers. Here at the Coliseum, they stay in play.
Very good numbers for the Yankee catcher against Kevin Napier. He has 2 on with 2 out. Struck him out, and that'll end the inning. A hit, 2 left, middle of the second in Oakland, 6-0 New York. Wednesday, the road to the World Series continues as Mike Piazza and the Mets square off against Jim Edmonds and the St. Louis Cardinals. Game 1 of the National League Championship Series from Busch Stadium. Coverage begins Wednesday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here on Fox. Congratulations to the New York Mets, and you know, back in the Big Apple, they are hoping that the Yankees can come through tonight and keep those hopes alive for the Subway Series.
Boy, a double clinch in one day. How would that be for New York baseball fans?
Long way to go, however, here in Oakland. Yankees in front 6-0 as Chavez rolls it foul. He's behind Andy Pettit at 0-2. And congratulations to Bobby Valentine and the Mets, as well as Dusty Baker and the Giants. Bobby Valentine has taken all kinds of heat in New York over the last 4 years. He's the first manager ever in that franchise's history to lead him to back-to-back postseason appearances as Chavez has gone on strengths. Second of the game by Andy Pettit. But the Mets are going to the NLCS for the 2nd consecutive year. Last year upended by Atlanta.
You'll notice as the hitters come to the plate, most of them have their helmets pulled way down, trying to guard against that glare that you see off the luxury boxes out in center field. Some kind of a reflective curtain on those luxury boxes, and that sun is glaring right back toward home plate at this point. The Yankee hitters have been tugging their helmets right down on the brow, trying to shield against that bright glare.
Now the number 7 hitter in the lineup, Adam Pyatt, looks at a strike. The lower third in the batting order has done a lot of the damage for the A's in this series. Collectively, they've hit .366 out of the 7, 8, and 9 position. 1-1 to Pyatt. Slap foul. Pyatt checking to see if he broke his bat. 1-2.
Pyatt has done an outstanding job this season for the A's against left-handed pitching. The .369 average, all 5 of his home runs coming against southpaws.
comes a 1-2. Pyatt stays alive by fouling it off. Pettit has not lost a postseason game since the American League Championship Series Game 3 back in '98 at Cleveland. Since then, he's gone 3-0 in 4 starts. Del Duque, another clutch performance for the Yankees in Game 3 in the Bronx. Two and two. Even pitch from Pettit, and it's lined into center field, a base hit by Pyatt. The third Oakland hit. They only had 5 hits in 7 2/3 innings against Andy Pettit in Game 2.
Nice short, compact swing from Adam Pyatt. Well, we talked at Andy Pettit on 3 days rest. Joe Torre speculated that perhaps he'd have a better sinker ball in this game tonight. That was a cutter that just stayed out over the plate. Generally, when a pitcher's arm is a little more tired, when his legs are a little more tired, his ball sinks a lot more. That cut fastball, really have to get on top of that pitch in order to make it be effective.
Strike one to Ben Grieve, a .279 batter during the regular season. 27 home runs, 104 knocked in. He has 2 hits and 13 at-bats in this series. Fastball paints the outside corner. It's 0-2.
Take another look at that last pitch from Andy Pettit. Posada moves out onto the outside corner. Gets the call from home plate umpire Rick Reed.
Tried the inside corner this time and missed. Grieve, only 24 years old, a native of Arlington, Texas, the #1 draft choice of the A's back in June of '94. His father, Tom Grieve, the #1 pick of the Washington Senators in 1966. Two and two.
Well, it should be pointed out that Grieve led the planet this year, grounding into double plays. 32 times he grounded into double plays this year, partly because of a lack of speed and also because he takes a little while to unwind after putting the ball in play.
Down and away. After falling behind 0-2, Grieve has worked it full. Ramon Hernandez waits in the on-deck circle. Joe Torre's Yankees a 6-run opening inning. Struck him out. Third of the game by Pettit. 2 away in the inning.
That's something else Ben Grieve did a lot of during the regular season. 130 times he struck out. This time Pettit comes with the tailing, sinking fastball on the inside corner, tails it down and inside. Grieve swings right over the top of that pitch.
Now Hernandez, 4 of 13 in the series, as a pair of doubles has knocked in 3. Too low for ball 1. Before Pettit ever took the mound, his team sent 11 men to the plate, scored 6 runs on 6 base hits. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Roger Clemens fell behind 3-0 in the opening inning last night. And there's one off the mound into center field. A base hit by Hernandez. Advancing on to second is Pyatt. Well, the A's with a pair of hits in the first inning. They have 2 hits here in the second inning. And they're looking for that blow to get them on the board and trying to get back into this game.
Center fielder.
Like a cutter down and over the heart of the plate once again. Pettit just not getting that pitch in on the hands of the right-handed hitters like he normally does. Hernandez was able to fight it back up the middle of the field for a base hit. Terrence Long at the plate is not your prototypical leadoff hitter. At some point in the future, they envision him being a number 3 or a number 5 hitter because of his ability to drive the ball into the gaps and over the fence. 18 home runs on the season.
Strike right down the middle, 0-1. Long had 18 home runs during the regular season. Only 1 came against a left-hander.
See, the Oakland offense outscored their opponents by 110 runs in the month of September. A lot of that had to do with their offense being very strong, but more importantly, their pitching was superb in the month of September.
Blown away, 1-1 to Long. Long, originally the Mets' #1 draft pick back in '94, traded to Oakland last July. He spent more time in New York over the weekend than he did in his entire career for the Mets.
Certainly Terrence Long will get his share of votes for the American League Rookie of the Year, leading in RBIs, hits, runs, doubles, second in average, second in home runs. He has been an adventure from time to time out in center field. He's made 10 errors on the season. We saw him misread a couple of fly balls earlier in this game.
The 2-1 pitch. Fouled off. Count even now at 2-2.
Well, we talked at the top of the show, Tom, that this Oakland's offense relies a lot on the base on balls, and they rely a lot on the home run ball. 43% of the runs that the A's scored this year came on home runs.
They have 4 hits tonight, and all 4 hits have been singles. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count. It's a big batter in this inning. Long trying to keep it alive. The man who waits in the on-deck circle, the former Yankee Randy Velarde, has owned Pettit in his career and already has a base hit in the ball game here tonight. For Velarde. So now the A's with a chance to get back in the game. They trail by 6, but it's only the bottom of the second.
Now batting, second baseman Randy Velarde.
Pyatt, the runner at third. Hernandez at second. Long draws the first walk issued by Pettit in the game. He's at first. And here's Velarde. Breaking ball inside. "11 of Velarde's 12 home runs this season came here in Oakland." Good off-speed pitch right there by Pettit. Had Velarde way out in front, of ball a strike.
back-to-back breaking balls. See the numbers with runners in scoring position for the Oakland Athletics in game 1 and 4. Very good. Games 2 and 3, not so good.
They're loaded with 2 away, and Pettit works out of his regular windup. Here's the 1-1. Check swing. Did he go? They appeal to first. And yes, says Doug Eddings.
See if that bat head crosses the front of home plate. Indeed it does. Velarde with strong wrist tries to snap it back, but fooled once again on the 3rd consecutive breaking ball from Andy Pettit. Missed with the first one. Comes back with 2 consecutive strikes. Has Velarde in the hole, 1 and 2 now.
The A's set a major league record with 14 grand slams this season. Pettit wanted the call there, didn't get it.
Well, that's a pitch that we saw Kevin Appier wanting in the last half inning. Rick Reed is just not going to call that pitch down at the bottom of the knees caps. It's like some variation of the rally cap over there in that A's dugout.
You're down 6-0 in the second inning of game 5. Find every trick you've got. To Velarde. Ball 3. Well, you figure Velarde's going to get something to hit. I mean, you may say that's obvious at 3 and 2, but Pettit knows who's waiting in the on-deck circle should this inning stay alive.
Yeah, that is definitely protection in the lineup, having Jason Giambi standing over in that on-deck circle. Velarde figures to get a good pitch to hit right here.
Ground ball, base hit into left field. 2 runs will score. Velarde with a 2-run single into left field, and it's a 4-run game.
I don't know what comes first, Tom, the confidence or the success, but whatever. Randy Velarde has had success against Andy Pettit in his career. Appeared to be another cut fastball that just did not get inside on Randy Velarde. He's able to drive it through the left side of the infield for a base hit.
Yankees lead it on a single by Velarde, and here comes Jason Giambi. He struck out his first time up. Breaking ball is high.
And every time Jason Giambi steps to the plate, that chant of MVP goes up from the crowd here at the Coliseum.
Popped up. The shortstop Jeter is there, and the inning is over. The A's give 2. We're back after this word from your local Fox station. Andy Pettit avoids further damage in the Athletics' second inning, getting Jason Giambi on the pop fly to Derek Jeter. And we move to the third, 6-2 Yankees. Soho first pitch swinging, pops it up. Reeve coming on and shallow left. 1 pitch, 1 out. Bobby, you and I have seen so many times through the years in baseball where a team scores a lot of runs early in the game, and then it's not as though you shut it down, because you know the Yankees have too many veterans to let that happen. But they scored half as many runs in the first inning as they had scored in the first 4 games of this series. And you know sooner or later, Oakland will have another threat or 2 before the night is over.
Certainly it would be understandable if the Yankees had a feeling of confidence or even perhaps overconfidence at this point, the way they jumped on the A's in this ball game, having their best big game pitcher Andy Pettitte on the mound. But you're right, we have seen it happen many, many times. You certainly wouldn't anticipate it from a team as professional as the New York Yankees.
Into center field, a base hit by Brocious, his second hit in as many at-bats.
First base coach Lee Mazzilli leaning over Scott Brocious, whispering in his ear as Willie Randolph, the third base coach, goes through a series of signs. Boy, Knobloch certainly has paid instant dividends with his reinsertion into the Yankees offense. 2 singles in the first inning of the ball game, scored a run, stole a base, and drove in a run.
We mentioned earlier, but maybe for many of you who weren't with us, Joe Torre told us before the game he sat down with Chuck Knobloch for a long time on the plane ride from New York last night and told him he thought it was very improper, the situation with Knobloch not taking ground balls over the weekend at Yankee Stadium. That was quite the story in New York. Torre said Knobloch told him, I was wrong, I should have handled the situation better. And Torre puts him back in the lineup, and he sets a division series record, collecting 2 hits. In the first inning, he scored a run, knocked in a run, and stole a base.
And Joe was very upfront with us about Knobloch's defensive problems. He said he's not as good as he once was, and he's not as good as he will be. But right now, there's too much of a liability defensively, and Luis Sojo has done such a great job, not only with the glove, but with the bat.
Outside edge, a called strike, 1-1 to Knobloch. With all the trades the Yankees made right around the deadline, here we are in Game 5 of the division series, and the guy who's paid the most dividends, Luis Sojo, who rejoined the Yankees from the Pirates.
There's so much emphasis in the postseason based on advanced scouting reports. You study videotapes. You look at old pitchers' charts at how you go after certain hitters in that lineup. And many times you tend to forget those guys at the bottom of the order. And those are the guys that'll sneak up and bite you.
Runner goes, and it's popped up. A lot of foul ground as we go up there, and plenty of that for Chavez. 2 away, and Brocious back to first base. That's the first time Knobloch has been retired tonight in 3 at-bats, and the inning continues for Derek Jeter.
Jeter gets a lot of boos here at the Coliseum. I think a lot of these fans are doing that to show their approval of their own shortstop, Miguel Tejada. Tejada certainly trying to stake a claim on that Big 3 title, if you will, in the American League with shortstops Derek Jeter, Nomar Garciaparra, and Alex Rodriguez. Tejada not far from those guys at this point. The only thing he lacks is doing it consistently year after year.
Over the last 2 years, Tejada's hit 51 home runs, knocked in 199. Jeter 39 home runs. He's driven in 175. A bullet right at his counterpart, and it rolls into left center field. Making the turn, advancing on to third is Brocious. Hard hit ball. We'll see how they score that. That ball just ate up Tejada at short. It's a base hit.
Just an absolute screamer hit right at the ankles, and Miguel Tejada backs up, tries to play it on the big hop. Not much more you can do. You can't really charge that ball. It was hit so hard, and from where he was playing, that big hop was much bigger than he anticipated.
Jeter, his first hit of the ball game, just his 4th in the series. And here's O'Neill with runners on the corners and 2 away. The Yankees leading 6-2. O'Neill 1 of 2. An infield hit in the first, scored a run, struck out against Apier in the second. Brocious at third. Jeter over at first. Ball 1 to O'Neill.
Of course, Derek Jeter at first base with tremendous speed, stole 22 bases in 26 attempts on the season. I don't really think the Yankees will run him until deeper in the count here to Paul O'Neill. With Jason Giambi holding on Derek Jeter over there, it gives O'Neill a huge hole on the right side of the infield.
Fouled out of play, third base side, a ball and a strike.
Of course, that being said, you would figure Kevin Apier will try to work Paul O'Neill away to prevent him from hitting that ball to the hole on the right side of the infield. There you see with Giambi holding the runner, big hole on that right side of the infield, so Kevin Apier will try to work the outside corner and get O'Neill to hit the ball that direction.
And he does hit it that way. Into short left. Reeves got it, and that'll end the inning. 2 hits, 2 left. Middle of the third. Yankees 6, Athletics 2. We'd like to remind you, Game 1 of the American League Championship Series will get underway Tuesday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on NBC. We welcome Bob Costas back from Sydney, Australia. He'll be paired with Joe Morgan. And then Bobby right here on Fox. You'll be joining Tim McCarver and Joe Buck Wednesday night, Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. The Mets go to Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
I think everybody a little surprised with the ease that the Cardinals handled the Braves in the division series this year.
A 3-game sweep for Tony La Russa's St. Louis Cardinals. And the Mets finished off the Giants today at Shea 4-0. An outstanding effort by their right-hander Bobby Jones. Here at 6-2 Yankees, Almedo signs to lead things off, and a fastball is on the outside corner.
Last night against the Rocket, Almedo signs, hits a rocket into left field at Yankee Stadium. That gave the A's a 3-0 lead at the time.
Into right center field on the run O'Neill. He's got it. 1 away. We mentioned the A's this season have scored as many as 10 runs in an inning. The biggest deficit they have overcome came on June the 19th against Baltimore right here at the Coliseum. The Orioles led 8-1 after 2 innings, a 7-run spread. Then the A's went to work and beat Baltimore 13-12. Of course, that's Baltimore. Strike 1 to Miguel Tejada. He bounced out to the second baseman Soho, leaving 2 on in the opening inning. Into center field, a base hit. 6 hits through 2 1/3 innings against Andy Pettitte. That's 1 more hit than the A's had in 7 2/3 innings against the left-hander in Game 2.
And once again, it appeared that the swing of Miguel Tejada, that appeared to be a cut fastball once again from Andy Pettitte. He just has not been able to consistently get that pitch in on the hands of the right-handed hitter. This is a pitch that generally breaks bats. Just a little bit of a tilt to his fastball, and that ball will generally run into the right-hander. It's staying out over the plate. Obviously, that's a pitch that's been so good for him over the years and throughout the course of the regular season this year. But sometimes you need to make adjustments on the fly and realize that you don't have one pitch or another in a given start and go to plan B.
Breaking ball and a beauty to Chavez is a strike. Chavez only hit .197 against left-handed pitching this season, which ranked last in the American League. It was the second worst in the major leagues to the former Yankee Ruben Rivera.
You may have noticed on that last replay we showed you, we'll show it again. Watch Andy Pettit's left elbow. If there's any doubt in your mind that the human body was not meant to throw a baseball overhand, look at his left elbow as he delivers the ball. That loose skin around the elbow puckering up as he delivers the ball to home plate, that's not natural.
Lined into left center field, it'll fall and go to the wall. On his way to third, Tejada, they'll wave him around. He will score, and here come the Athletics.
Chavez's problems with left-handed pitchers this year. This is what you need to do when you face a tough lefty. Go to the opposite field. Don't even think you're going to try to pull the ball. Hit the ball to the big part of the ballpark. This time Chavez finds the gap in left center. Great speed on the bases by Miguel Tejada. Gave third base coach Ron Washington the opportunity to wave him on home. The throw back to the infield sailed over Derek Jeter, the first cutoff man. Luis Sojo got the ball, but it was too late to relay it to home plate.
Billy Connor, the acting pitching coach for the Yankees, in place of Mel Stottlemyre. We certainly send our thoughts and prayers to him undergoing that stem cell transplant. Good man, Mel Stottlemyre. And his son Todd Stottlemyre. Quite a guy and quite a competitor as well.
That old saying, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, certainly holds true in the case of the Stottlemyres. Todd battling through his own injuries.
Joe Torre told us everybody on his pitching staff available tonight with the exception of last night's starter Roger Clemens. Now Pyatt, who singled into center field an inning ago. High fly ball. Hit it off the end of the bat into short left center field. And Justice makes a catch for the second out. But clearly there is something missing, and you pointed out already the cut fastball and the location of Pettit. His team gave him a 6-0 lead. That has since been sliced in half. And the A's in 2 2/3 innings have 7 hits against him.
Well, Joe Torre told us before the ball game that he anticipated that Pettit would have to go to the sinker more in this game rather than the cut fastball. Every time Andy Pettit has tried to cut that fastball in on the hands of the right-handers, it stayed out over the plate.
Gorgeous breaking ball there from Pettit for a called strike.
I mean, you have to have a plan B. As a pitcher and a catcher, you know what's been successful for you all season long, but there will be those given starts where you don't have 1 or 2 of your best pitches, and you have to have a plan B to go to.
Swing and a miss by Grieve, and Pettit in front 0-2. Pettit struck him out an inning ago.
27 teams this season have come back from a 6 or more run deficit to win a ball game.
And we're only in the 3rd inning. Two on Grieve.
You see Andy Pettit with that cap pulled down low over his eyes, trying to block out the fans here at the Coliseum, try to develop that tunnel vision, just picking up only his catcher.
On the ground, foul. It'll stay 1-2 to Ben Green.
Now with the left-handed hitter at the plate this time, Pettit comes with that sinking fastball on the inside part of the plate and is able to get it in on the hands of Ben Green.
Pettit only allowed 1 home run to a left-handed batter the entire season, and that was during interleague play when Robin Ventura of the Mets got him at Yankee Stadium on the 10th of June. Got him swinging to end the inning, but the A's scratch out another run. They leave a man, end of 3, 6-3 Yankees. Time to take a look at the St. Paul Company's trivia question. How many players in today's game have played for both the Yankees and the Athletics in their careers? We'll give you a little bit of time to think about that. Tom Brenneman, Bob Brenly, our entire Fox crew on hand here at Network Associates Coliseum in Oakland. The Yankees scored 6 runs on 6 hits, sending 11 men to the plate in the opening inning. For an early 6-0 advantage, the A's got a pair in the second, 1 more off Andy Pettit in the third. A 3-run game with Williams, Justice, and Martinez coming up against Kevin Appier, starting his 3rd inning of work.
Apier's given up only 3 base hits, walked a batter, struck out a couple, but so far he's been able to keep the Yankees off the board since entering the ballgame.
Strike 1 to Williams, who knocked in a run with a fly ball to right field in the opening inning. He popped up to Grieve in left field in the second. Good pitch on the inside corner right there from Appier, and he's ahead 0-2. Fastball up and in, 1-2 to Williams, leading off the New York 4th.
Appier consistently working that inside corner on Bernie Williams, both with the split finger and with the fastball. Would appear to have him set up for a sinker off of that outside corner, maybe get a defensive swing from the Yankees center fielder. We'll see how they play. It looks like they're going back inside once again.
Full count. Switch hitting Williams, a big deep breath, now digs in from the left side, and Appier turns loose at 3-2, and it's grounded foul up the first base line. Williams knocked in 100 runs. He scored 100 runs for the 4th time in his career. Only 3 other Yankees had as many as 3 such seasons. Guys you may have heard of: Gehrig, Ruth, DiMaggio.
Well, look at this. You hate to see this as an opposing pitcher. You got a batter at the plate. You got 2 guys in the on-deck circle waiting to get up to the plate. Appier does not let it bother him, however, as he strikes out Bernie Williams to start the 4th inning.
Now, your former days as a catcher, did you notice that kind of thing?
Oh, absolutely. You could hear him over there rattling around in the bat rack waiting to get up to the plate when you had a pitcher on the ropes. But as I said, Appier doesn't let it bother him, throws a fastball up and out over the plate after pounding Bernie Williams in throughout the at-bat.
Justice has walked twice and scored a run.
Yeah, when you look over at that dugout and there's 4 or 5 guys with their helmets on and bats in their hands ready to hit, that's usually not a good sign.
Blown away, 2-0 to Justice. Well, did you say anything to him when they came up to the plate?
Well, according to the league rules, you're only allowed to have one batter in the on-deck circle. So I would just politely suggest to the umpire that perhaps 9 guys in the on-deck circle is too many.
3-0 now on Justice. Heck, Glenn Allen Hill is over there rubbing up a bat, and he's not even in the lineup. You're not going to tell him much anything.
No. You want to get a bat and stand up there, go right ahead.
Mr. Hill. Cue shot off the end of the bat, foul. I think David Justice has had a better 3-0 cut in his life.
It looked like he hit that right off the very end of the bat. Napier taking just enough off to fool David Justice and kind of cued it off the end of the bat. There's another guy that's probably ready to hit at any moment.
Former ace slugger Jose Canseco. 3-1. Hammered into deep right field. Drifting back to the wall is Pyatt, and Justice is homered for the Yankees. Not much of a 3-0 hack, but he scalded that ball to the seats in right field, and the Yankees extend their lead to 4.
It's the first home run for the New York Yankees in 67 innings. Boy, Dave Justice, such tremendous plate coverage. Watch how far he reaches out and hooks this ball back to right field. That ball was belt high off of the outside corner. He's able to get the bat out there and pull the ball back to straightaway right field, just over the wall.
Ball 1 to Tino Martinez. Justice, we mentioned earlier, a career high 41 home runs during the regular season. That's his 11th in the postseason. Yeah, the last home run for the Yankees was during the regular year on the 28th of September in the 9th inning against Tampa Bay off the bat of Glenn Allen Hill. Two and one. Napier upset with himself out there on the mound. He's fallen behind another Yankee hitter, 3-1. Justice homered on the 3-1 pitch just a moment ago.
And Tino Martinez has had 2 very good at-bats already in this ball game, right on the button twice.
Fouls it on a play, full count.
Of course, back in the first inning with the bases loaded, he doubled to straightaway center field over the head of Terrence Long, all the way to the base of the wall in center field. That cleared the bases, and then a single into right field against Napier in the second inning, right on the nose.
3-2. Turned on that one, pops it up into foul territory. Giambi drifting over near the bullpen, and it's out of play.
Versus the Athletics this year, Tino was somewhat undercover. Before tonight, anyway. Good numbers throughout the regular season.
Check swing, and he went around. Fooled him with a breaking ball there. Took a nosedive down around his feet. Napier has his 4th strikeout, second of the inning.
Once again, that's that hard slider, that rotation, almost like a spiral on a football, if you will. Causes that ball to dive down and into a lefty, down and away from a right-handed hitter. Looks like a strike. By the time you get that bat in the hitting zone, the pitch is out of the zone.
51 pitches in almost 3 innings for Napier. Posada pops it up. Chavez a call and the catch, and that'll end the inning, but not before David Justice hammers the first postseason home run for the Yankees. against the Oakland Athletics. 7-3 New York. Let's take a look at the St. Paul Company's trivia question. How many players in today's game have played for both the Yankees and the Athletics? The answer 4. Jose Canseco, of course, a premier slugger for the A's. Scott Brocious came to the Yankees in 1998. Louis Poloni as it's ball 1 as we begin the bottom half of the 4th inning. To Ramon Hernandez, and then Randy Velarde came to the Yankees in 1987, made his major league debut that year. As that one is softly hit into shallow center field, it'll fall in front of Bernie Williams, a base hit. Interesting to note that when Velarde made his major league debut that season, he became the 29th shortstop to play alongside the great Willie Randolph. Velarde at 37, that's how long he's been around.
Second base hit of the game for Ramon Hernandez. Got jammed a little bit that time, able to muscle it out into shallow center field. Last time he singled back in the 2nd inning, he came around to score on the base hit by Randy Velarde.
8 hits in the game for the A's against Andy Pettitte in 3 innings plus 1 batter. And here's Long, 0 for 1. He looks at the first pitch strike.
If you want to get real trivial about that trivial question, Mike Stanley, who is not on the active roster for the Oakland A's but is in uniform here for the division series. He also played for the Yankees.
Even stuffing our guys downstairs. 1-1 to Long, who drew a walk in the 2nd inning, which kept that frame alive for Randy Velarde. Here we get a look at Mike Stanley. Leadoff man aboard here in the Oakland 4th. Low and inside, 2-1 to Long. And you have to wonder how long Joe Torre is going to wait before he considers starting some activity in his bullpen. He said, I'm going to let it all hang out here tonight.
Well, as if on cue, he's checking his lineup card over there. Knows who he has available on his own bench and in his own bullpen. Also knows who Art Howe has available over in that 3rd base dugout.
This is the kind of game where the Yankees clearly miss Ramiro Mendoza. We're only in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And in years past, post-seasons past, should a starter run into trouble early in the game, some ineffectiveness, some wildness, whatever the case may be, Mendoza was the kind of guy that could give you 1 inning, or he could give you 4 or 5 innings. Out away, 3rd base side. It remains 2-2 on Terrence Long.
Yeah, that may seem odd to make a statement like that, but I agree with you 100%, Tom. I mean, many times when you have a powerhouse team like the Yankees have had over the last several seasons, it's hard to believe that a missing piece like Ramiro Mendoza couldn't make that much of a difference, but he really has. He was a guy, as you said, could come in, work an inning, work 5 innings, keep the ball in the ballpark, give the Yankees an opportunity to get their offense going and get back into a ball game.
Ball 3, full count now on Terrence Long.
Talked about the Andy Pettitte pickoff move yet in this ball game, because this A's ball club just does not run very much at all. Very cautious station to station base runners. As we've talked about at length, they rely on the long ball more than generating offense.
Giambi hoping for a chance here in the Oakland 4th. The 3-2 pitch. Up and in. Quite an at-bat there for Terrence Long. Second straight time he faced Pettit. Fell behind in the count. And for the second time he draws the walk. Let's go to Los Angeles and join Keith Olbermann.
Tom, as to the other half of New York, the Mets are in the NL Championship Series. Bobby Jones one-hit the Giants, 4-zip. The NLCS opens Wednesday night in St. Louis here on Fox. Giants manager Dusty Baker telling us he expects he and the Giants will work out a new contract before the end of the World Series, which he and the Giants will be watching here on Fox after the NLCS. Tom?
Keith, thank you very much, and that's great news. The Dusty Baker may get that contract worked out. He should stay with the Giants as Jeff Nelson starts to crank it up in the Yankee bullpen. And now he's joined by the left-hander Mike Stanton.
Yeah, that was just a stall for time meeting at the mound by Billy Connor. Called in the entire Yankee infield. Stayed out there until Rick Reed, the home plate umpire, called him back, trying to give Mike Stanton and Jeff Nelson as many extra warm-up pitches down in that right field bullpen as they could possibly get.
If you've not seen the A's much this summer, this is such an explosive offensive ball club. You can have a 4, 5, 6-run lead before you know it. It's down to 1 or 2. They trailed by 6. It's down to 4. And a pickoff attempt over at first. Martinez sneaking in behind Terrence Long. Long has been bothered by the bad knee that he injured in Game 3 when slipping in center field chasing a ball at Yankee Stadium. Had the knee on ice for 6 hours during the plane ride last night, early this morning. Randy Velarde. Foul ball that got a piece of Jorge Posada. You've been down this road, Professor Brenly.
And it's not a fun road to go down, let me tell you that. Velarde with the check swing gets just a piece of the ball. Fortunately caught mostly chest protector right there. That still doesn't feel very good. And Rick Reed, you can see professional courtesy for the guys that wear masks. Sweeping off home plate, taking a little extra time before getting back there, allowing Posada an opportunity to catch his breath and get ready to go once again.
Velarde, a perfect 2 for 2 in the game, has knocked in 2 runs. On the outside corner, it's 0-2. This was his 2-run single in the second.
Hard hit ground ball that got through the left side with the bases loaded. And with that in mind, Scott Brocious has moved off the third baseline a little bit more over toward that hole between third and short. Pettit went to the sinker ball away that time from Randy Velarde.
Tried to come in the back door, and it's outside. 1-2 on Velarde. Hernandez, a runner at second base. Terrence Long at first. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, and the Yankees with a 4-run lead.
The next pitch will be number 79 on the ball game from Andy Pettit. Working here in the 4th inning. That's something that this patient A's offense will do. Run up high pitch counts early in the ball game.
Into right field, the third hit by Velarde. They're going to hold Hernandez at third as O'Neill fires back into Martinez. And the A's have the bases loaded with nobody out. And Giambi coming up.
That appeared to be a nice adjustment at the plate that time by Randy Velarde. He pulled a cut fastball through the hole in the left side of the infield. His earlier at bat in this ball game. This time takes a pitch on the outside part of the plate, shoots it through the hole in the right side of the infield.
Giambi led the major leagues with 4 grand slams this season. 4 of them.
Just remarkable numbers with the bases loaded on the season. Looks like Joe Torre's going to stay with his starter. Giambi has not had good swings against Andy Pettitte in this ballgame. Struck out in the first inning, popped up weakly to Derek Jeter at short in the second.
Ball 1 up and in. Giambi the tying run at the plate. Hernandez at third, Long at second base, Velarde at first. Nobody out. Check swing. It's ball 2.
Now, one thing about Giambi, you know he would love to make something happen swinging that bat right here with the bases loaded. But he is more than willing to take the base on balls. He walked 137 times during the regular season. A very unselfish player. He is more than willing to allow Almedo Signs the opportunity to drive home the run should Pettitte not give him anything to hit.
He took a hack and fouls it away, 2-1.
And we've seen Pettitte go more and more often to that sinking two-seam fastball in this inning. That pitch right there to Giambi, a fastball that started on the inside corner and tailed further inside. He could only pull it foul.
Pettitte okays a side. And a 2-1 to Giambi. In the dirt, 3 balls and a strike.
Nice stop by Jorge Posada behind the plate right there on a big breaking ball from Andy Pettitte, able to smother that ball and hold the runners where they were. Came up a little bit with the glove. Left a 5-hole underneath, but fortunately for him, the ball came up high. He was able to block it with the heel of his glove.
Huge pitch in this ball game. Hitters count to the man who's been the best hitter in the American League. Oh, he fooled him badly on another pitch that ran down and in. Full count on Giambi. That is some kind of pitch by Pettitte.
Well, Pettitte has made an adjustment in this inning. He's gone away from that cut fastball, gone more to that sinker down and into the left-handed hitters, down and away from the righties. And you can see a very awkward swing that time by Jason Giambi.
Stays alive. 19 pitches in this 4th inning so far for Andy Pettitte, and he has not retired a batter.
You can see the 2nd inning, he really had to work when the A's broke through for a couple of runs. Really laboring here once again in the 4th.
Bases loaded, nobody out, and again the 3-2 coming. Pettitte to Giambi. Lined into left center field. Williams has got it. Tagging and scoring. Ramon Hernandez on to third, goes long. Giambi the run batted in, making it 7-4 Yankees. That is the first RBI in this series for Jason Giambi.
The Yankees have pretty much been pitching around Giambi. They did not have the option in this at bat. Fastball up and out over the plate. Thad Bosley told us that Giambi's a guy that tries to hit the ball from gap to gap with power, and that's exactly what he did, driving that ball deep enough in left center to drive home the run.
That's base running as well by Terrence Long, tagging and going on to third base. He stands there with only one out in the inning. Velarde at first, and here's Olmedo's side. He singled to right center field in the first, Clyde out to right in the third. Line drive into left field. Justice makes a catch. And tagging and scoring is Long. A 7-5 ball game. That's where we talked about the heads-up base running by Long, going from second to third on the fly ball by Giambi.
Well, the ball by Giambi was hit so hard that Bernie Williams was almost backpedaling as he caught the ball. That allowed Long to go back, tag up, advance to third, where he's able to score on this fly ball to left field by Olmedo's signs.
And Pettit not fooling anybody.
He's lost the bite on his breaking ball. The only pitch he really has working well right now is that two-seam sinking fastball.
Well,
Giambi and Signs with bullets. Granted, both of them outs, but both knocking in runs. And the A's here in the fourth inning have drawn within 2. They fell behind 6-0 after the first half inning. Now Tejada, who's bounced to second, singled and scored. Line into left field, another base hit. Advancing on to second, Velarde. And the inning continues for Chavez. And here comes Joe Torre. Andy Pettit given a 6-0 lead. And this young, aggressive Oakland team will not give him a chance to get the win. Stanton summoned from the bullpen. We'll be right back. They were silent in Oakland after the first half inning of play when the Yankees struck for 6 runs off Gil Heredia. The A's got 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Justice homered for the Yankees in the top of the fourth. Pettit chased after giving up 2 runs here in the bottom of the inning. And he'll give way to left-hander Mike Stanton on for the 3rd time in the series.
For the Achilles heel of the New York Yankees, the middle relief that they've had this year, including Mike Stanton, brought on here to face a left-hander in Eric Chavez. Stanton has allowed a .339 batting average to left-handed hitters this year. See his numbers on the season.
Chavez 1 for 2 in the game, knocked in a run and with a double back in the third. Inside for ball 1. Randy Velarde, the runner at second base. Miguel Tejada leads at first with 2 down. Stanton in 2 1/3 innings in this series has allowed 4 hits and 1 run. 1-1.
See what Eric Chavez has done this year against the New York Yankees, both during the regular season and in the postseason. Been a thorn in the side of Joe Torre and the Yankees. Or a worm in the apple, so to speak.
Chavez just 22 years young. Whoa, 2 balls and a strike. We mentioned all the trouble Chavez had during the regular season against left-handed pitching, batting only .197. Hit just 3 of his 26 home runs against left-handers. But against Pettit here tonight, 1 for 2 with an RBI double into left center field. He had a good cut there and fouls it out of play to even the count.
You can see him asking home plate umpire Rick Reed, was that ball up? A lot of times you get so locked in up there at the plate, or you tell yourself, I'm going to swing at a fastball. If it's anywhere near the plate, you foul it off, and you have to turn around and ask the umpire, was that a good pitch or not? I don't even know.
2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And 2 runs separate the teams here in the 4th. Going to 3rd, and a soft one hopper at Soho. Should in the inning and will. So Stanton takes care of business. The A's scored twice. They trail by 2 at the end of 4. We remind you, please watch Game 4 of the World Series here on Fox for the $1 million Gillette Strike Zone Challenge. And who will be playing in the World Series here on Fox? The Yankees are trying to get there for the 3rd straight year, the 4th time in the last 5 years. They had a 6-0 lead after their first go-round against Gil Heredia here tonight, but now it's a 2-run ball game, and we're only in the top of the 5th. 0-1 to Soho, and Apier misses low and away. Apier's gone 3 innings, allowed only 1 run. That was a home run to Justice in the 4th.
Yeah, the strike zone challenge was pretty much what Kevin Apier faced every start this season. He walked 102 batters in 195 innings, but only 1 walk in the ball game tonight. Pitched David Justice very carefully back in the 2nd inning and lost him to a base on balls.
Pretty good breaking ball right there. To Soho. Low and inside, even a count. He'll be followed by Brocious and back to the top of the order and Chuck Knobloch.
You know, Tom, fatigue is such a hard thing to really observe in a ball club. See some of the Yankees with their heads down over there on the bench. You're not sure if that's focus and concentration or whether it's fatigue starting to set in.
Popped up behind the plate. Going for Hernandez. 1 away.
But you have to believe the longer this ball game drags on, the more the advantage shifts to this younger A's ball club. We heard Art Howe talking about, we talked to Joe Torre about it before the ball game. Those 22-year-old legs tend to bounce back a lot quicker than 35 and 36-year-old legs. As the evening has worn on here in Oakland, it's gotten considerably cooler. Wind blowing off the bay. Lots of jackets making an appearance here. Beautiful day when the ball game started, getting considerably colder now.
Brocious 2 for 2, a pair of singles in the ball game, and looks at ball 1 low and away. Two and 0. No activity in either bullpen. Nelson has taken a seat for the Yankees. O'Reilly and Tam had to pitch the opening inning for Oakland. Napier's gone the rest of the way. And it's 3-0 now on Brocious. Three and 1. The winner tonight moves on to face Lou Pinella's Seattle Mariners. 3-1 delivery. Swing and a miss, and the count is full. If the Yankees win, they have home field advantage in the LCS. And they'll play game 1 at Yankee Stadium on Tuesday night. If Art Howe's Athletics win this decisive game 5, they will have home field advantage over Seattle. Struck him out. And Brocious with words for home plate umpire Rick Reed.
You know, he pointed out throughout the telecast that Reed has not called that strike at the bottom of the knees until that pitch to Scott Brocious. For me, that's a good pitch. I like to see an umpire that will call a big strike zone and get those hitters swinging the bat. Take the game out of the umpire's hands. Make the hitter swing the bat from catcher cam. You get a good look at Ramon Hernandez holding that ball up at the bottom of the strike zone, and they get the call.
Ball one inside to Knobloch. Given the start here in Game 5 by his manager Joe Torre. Knobloch had 2 hits in the opening inning when the Yankees struck for 6. He scored a run, knocked in a run. Napier falls behind Knobloch at 2-0. Knobloch taking on the 2-0. It's a called strike. Knobloch has had an outstanding career. The 91 Rookie of the Year with Minnesota. Won a Gold Glove. Some may find that hard to believe due to his recent struggles. A 4-time All-Star and a 3-time member of a World Championship team. Twice with the Yankees, once with Minnesota. Hit down the right field line and hit well foul.
Well, that looked like trouble off the bat of Chuck Knobloch. A long run for Adam Pyatt down into that right field corner. Just a little bit too much slice for Chuck Knobloch and the Yankees. It appeared to be fair until just that last 50 feet or so down the right field line when it sliced just into foul territory.
Looking for the first perfect inning by any pitcher tonight. And he's got it. We're back in Oakland. The Athletics come to bat last half of the 5th, trailing the Yankees 7-5. Mike Stanton on the relief of Andy Pettitte. And he'll face the latter third in the batting order. Pyatt, Grieve, and Hernandez. Game 5 of this American League Division Series. The A's won the opener behind Gil Heredia. Andy Pettitte was brilliant in Game 2. El Duque pitching the Yankees to a Game 3 win before the rookie Barry Zito outdueled Roger Clemens in Game 4, sending it back to Oakland for the final game of this series and who will advance to the League Championship Series. Ball 1 to Pyatt. Almost hit him. Strength. Something you brought up a little bit earlier, Bobby. And again, there's no way to get a true pulse of what is going on in each dugout. If you look up and down that Yankees dugout, a lot of guys sitting, leaning back and watching the action. There's Stern around down in that A's dugout. A lot of guys standing, walking around. There appears to be a lot more light as a number of guys have just taken a seat a moment ago. But only one standing and watching, Roger Clemens, in the Yankee dugout.
And of course, a lot of that may have to do with the fact that the Yankees have been here many times before. This is not uncharted territory for Joe Torre's ball club. They've been to the postseason seemingly every year. They know what's required of them, what's needed. This A's ball club is just excited. They're happy to be here. They're happy to be playing ball in October.
Swing Swing and a miss. Good work by Stanton after falling behind Pyatt. Stanton's retired the only 2 batters he's faced.
Stanton at this point right now has what you would call effective wildness. He's thrown the ball way inside, pushing Adam Pyatt off the plate, and then comes back and paints that inside corner with a cut fastball for strike 3.
Ben Grieve 0 for 2 has struck out twice. Big breaking ball in the inside corner, a strike. Jim Messier getting loose in the bullpen.
Now Mercier battling some injury problems of his own, has a very, very inflamed patellar tendon. Said at times the pain is acute, but said at this point right now he'll be able to pitch with whatever pain he does experience.
Fastball away, 1-2 to Grieve.
On those drums all season long.
Weak roller foul, first base side.
Just taking a short break to catch your breath out there. Blow on the hands a little bit. They probably got blisters from those drumsticks.
Swing and a miss, and he is struck out for the 3rd time. Let's go downstairs and welcome in once again Josh Lewin.
Tom, you guys were talking about the A's still being into it. You know, Randy Velarde left the Yankees after they lost in the division series in '95. He said at the time there was no chance the Yanks would ever be World Series champions. Well, very next year, of course, they were. Velarde saying to us, I remember sitting on my couch when Charlie Hayes caught the final out. Tears were streaming down my face. This is personal. Well, he's 3 for 3 tonight. You better believe he's one of the A's that will continue to be right in this game.
Josh, thank you very much. And we mentioned earlier, Velarde started all 5 games in that division series, 4 at second base. And many may remember he got 1 start in that series in left field. That was the season before Joe Torre took over as manager, replacing Buck Showalter. 1-1 on Hernandez.
Big swing that time from Ramon Hernandez. He's got a couple of base hits. He scored 2 runs in this game, but both times he's fought off tough pitches from Yankee pitchers and just blooped them out over the infield. That time he was trying to go for all of it.
He comes right back with an off-speed pitch to Stanton, and he's ahead 1-2.
That's what a veteran pitcher will do when you see a young player take a big swing like Ramon Hernandez did on the pitch before. Come back with seemingly the same pitch, but about 10 miles an hour slower. Got Ramon Hernandez way out in front, taking advantage of his aggressiveness.
Shattered bat, a roller at the shortstop, Jeter, and the inning is over. So Stanton mows him down in impressive fashion. We go to the 6th, 7-5 New York. Remind you, game 1 of the American League Championship Series gets underway Tuesday night on NBC. Bob Costas, Joe Morgan calling all the action. And then game 1 of the National League Championship Series starts at Busch Stadium in St. Louis right here on Fox. Joe Buck, Tim McClever, Bob Brenly. At 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, we invite you to join us. Jim Messier, the former Yankee, came over from Tampa Bay this season, has had an outstanding campaign. He takes over for Rivera. And it's strike one to Derek Jeter.
He's already pitched in a couple ball games in this division series. 2 1/3 innings pitch, has yet to give up a base hit, has struck out a batter, zeros across the board otherwise. Those are his numbers combined on the season between Tampa Bay and Oakland. And with the A's this year, he was 3-1 with a 2.80 earned run average.
I think it's interesting about Messier being a right-handed pitcher. Right-handed batters hit .245 against him. The lefties hit .204.
Well, his best pitch is a screwball-like changeup. Very effective against the left-handers, not as effective against the righties.
Jeter will be followed by O'Neill and Bernie Williams in the Yankees' 6th. Jeter 1 of 2 has walked, scored a run, singled his last at bat in the 3rd. Check swing, roller up the 3rd base line. They'll let it roll foul. As soon as that crossed the line, Messier wisely scooping it up. Don't forget that ball could still make another turn, come back into fair territory.
And notice how Messier fields this ball. He doesn't just pick it up. He makes sure to swipe it further into foul territory. Make sure that that home plate umpire makes no mistake that that's a foul ball. Pull it further into foul territory. Nice play bouncing off the mound. You can see Messier clearly limping on that sore knee.
Came along with Tino Martinez in the Sterling Hitchcock deal from Seattle to the Yankees. That one grounded foul up the 3rd base line. That was at the end of the '95 season. And Allen Hill has been staying loose on that bench all night long. Two and 2 to Jeter. Jeter with 3 World Championship rings in his first 4 full seasons with the Yankees. Fouled out of play. Only 2 other Yankees have won 3 championships at a younger age. Mantle was 21, DiMaggio 23.
That's pretty good company.
Yeah, not bad.
Well, Derek Jeter, very much an inside-out hitter. A lot of his power to right center field, and the A's, respecting that, are playing him like they would play a left-handed pull hitter.
Bouncing ball down to 3rd, and Chavez throws out Jeter. That is the first ground ball out recorded by an A's pitcher in the game here tonight.
That's amazing. These A's infielders must have felt like they weren't invited to the party. Bill Eric Chavez fielded that ground ball off the bat of Derek Jeter and threw him out at first base. So Tejada did have that one screaming line drive hit at him by Derek Jeter. Was ruled an infield hit.
Now O'Neill 1 for 3, an infield hit scored in a 6-run first inning. There's strike 1. An outstanding effort tonight by Kevin Appier, pitching out of the bullpen for the first time in almost 10 years.
Really the only blemish, the home run by David Justice on a pitch that was about belt high off of the outside corner. Justice went back and hooked it to right field. Just a nice piece of hitting. Sometimes you just have to tip your cap, but it's exactly what Art Howe and these Athletics needed. Somebody to come in out of that bullpen, slow down the Yankee offense, and give their own offense an opportunity to get back into the ballgame.
One and one to Paul O'Neill. Bouncing ball to the shortstop Tejada. 2 away.
The batter, center fielder, Bernie Williams.
Now Bernie Williams. 0 for 2, a sac fly, run batted in, driving in the first run of the game in the first inning. The Yankees had the 6 runs on 6 hits in the first. They have 1 run on 4 hits over the last 4 2/3 innings. And this should be a 1-2-3 inning for the season. It is. The Athletics have the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning, down 2. Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader beginning with Terry, Howie, JB, and my main man Chris Collinsworth on America's favorite pregame show. Then Jamal Anderson and the Falcons take on Marshall Faulk and the Rams. Later, Charlie Garner and the 49ers against Brett Favre and the Packers or other regional action. It all starts right here on Fox, starting at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. We're in Oakland, bottom half of the 6th inning. How about that guy? On the front page of the local paper.
Wow, doesn't get any better than that. And on national TV tonight. You won't be able to live with that guy. Needs to hire an agent.
He's unbearable. Top of the order. Terrence Long looks at a breaking ball from Mike Stanton on the relief of Andy Pettitte, who could not complete 4 innings here tonight after being given a 6-0 lead. Jeff Nelson again getting ready in the Yankee bullpen. One and 2 to Long. Stanton has been perfect. He's faced 4 batters and retired 4 batters. That has been the MO on the Yankees in the postseason with Stanton and Nelson and Rivera through the years. They may have had their bumps in the road, at least Stanton and Nelson, during the regular season at times. But these guys have as much to do with the Yankees having 3 World Series rings as anybody or any bodies on this ball club.
Well, it's not like the Yankees invented it, but they certainly mastered shortening the game to 6 innings. Try to get 6 strong innings out of your starting pitcher, turn the ball over to Nelson and Stanton to get you through the 7th and the 8th. And then when Mariano Rivera comes in the ball game, turn out the lights.
Three and 2 to Long. Stays alive by fouling it off. Well, this kid has had 2 impressive at-bats here tonight. He grounded out to second in the first inning. Fell behind 1 and 2, drew a walk into second. Fell behind again to Pettitte in the 4th inning. Drew another walk and scored a run. Struck him out. The 3rd strikeout for Stanton since coming out of the Yankee bullpen.
Nice sweeping breaking ball from Mike Stanton to the left-handed hitting Terrence Long. Actually, that was a cut fastball. I stand corrected once again from our perch high above the stadium here. Sometimes it's hard to read, but that is definitely a cut fastball on the outside corner. Long had fouled one off on the pitch before. Swings right through that one.
A perfect night for Randy Velarde. He's down 0-1. An infield single in the first, a 2-run single to left in the second, a single to right field in the 4th. Just inside, 1-1. I didn't miss by much. bouncing ball right side. Martinez will underhand a Stanton at the bag. That's a second bat that Stanton has sawed off since coming on in the fourth.
Now, obviously, a lot of that has to do with the stuff that he's featuring, that cut fastball, but also getting to those pitches. A little batting practice fastball in the outside corner. He missed somewhere with that breaking ball. And then another fastball in the outside corner. Velarde hits it right off the end of the bat, shattering it. Well, Stan, for the most part, has been able to stay out of the middle of the plate, working the extreme outside corner or the extreme inside corner.
Posada out for a quick visit. Stanton has retired all 6 batters he's faced. And now he'll turn his attention to what many here in Oakland and around the country for that matter believe is the American League's most valuable player, Jason Giambi.
Well, Giambi has not had much success against Mike Stanton. As a matter of fact, he's had no success against Mike Stanton. 0 for 12 with 6 strikeouts against the Yankee left-hander in his career. The career profile for Jason Giambi, the numbers continuing to climb as he becomes more and more accomplished at working counts in his favor and not missing his pitch.
Good breaking ball there from Stanton, even to count at 1-1. Giambi only 29 years old, out of West Covina, California. He has some big-time seasons ahead, and he's hoping to remain a teammate of his brother Jeremy Giambi for many years to come. Into center field, a base hit. That's the 11th hit of the game for Oakland. They've actually out-hit the Yankees 11-10, and that's going to do it for Stanton. Joe Torre has already made his way to the mound.
That quick swing we were talking about from Giambi earlier, able to hang in against the tough left-hander and drive that ball back up the middle of the field.
A 2-out single by Giambi. Nelson summoned from the bullpen. We'll be right back. 1 on, 2 out, bottom of the 6th inning, 7-5 Yankees. Let's bring back in Josh Lewin.
Tom, we make the case that 40 winks has equaled 0 success tonight. Both managers sent tonight's starters to the Bay ahead of the rest of the players. An extra good night's sleep. Well, the starters have combined for 4 innings of 14 hits and 10-run baseball tonight. The relievers coming up on 8 innings. They've allowed only 7 hits and 2 runs.
Sleep is overrated.
Forget that curfew stuff.
Josh, thank you very much. Jeff Nelson now on to face Solmedo signs, and it's ball 1 inside. It's a second appearance in a series by Jeff Nelson.
See his numbers on the regular season are very impressive. 8-4 with a 2.45 ERA, averaging better than a strikeout an inning. Only 44 hits in 69 2/3 innings.
Sharp breaking ball in the outside corner. Nelson at times this season had his differences with Joe Torre. The skipper took care of all that, and he's leaning again on Stanton and Nelson and Rivera and company to take him back to the World Series. Strike 2 and 2 to signs.
A low 3/4 delivery from Jeff Nelson. Very tough on the right-handed hitters. And you try to tell yourself to hang in there, but that front leg wants nothing to do with it.
Left-hander Randy choked. And the right-hander, El Duque Hernandez, getting loose in the Yankee bullpen.
Well, Joe Torre told us all bets were off tonight. Everybody's available but Roger Clemens.
Swing and a miss, and Nelson takes care of things in a 6th. We'll be back after this word from your local Fox station. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of Major League Baseball. 6 innings in the books. And the 2-time defending champion New York Yankees with a 7-5 lead. El Duque continues to get loose in the bullpen.
Doesn't necessarily mean he's coming into the ball game. Being a starting pitcher, as we mentioned earlier, much like Kevin Appier for the A's, it takes those starters a little longer to get loose. El Duque may just be throwing down there to get to the point where if he is needed, he'll be able to get ready quickly and come into the ball game. We'll have to wait and see.
Been a good night for Justice. He's walked twice, and then this in the 4th inning.
Just awesome plate coverage. Kevin Appier probably thought he had made a pretty good pitch to David Justice right there, but Justice took it away and snatched it down that right field line.
The first and only home run in this division series for the Yankees. Justice nearly screwed himself in the ground right there, chasing that 73-mile-per-hour changeup. 1-2.
It's appropriate they call it a screwball because that's what hitters will do if you chase that pitch. It looks like a fastball up around the letters, a very enticing pitch, and by the time you swing at it, the bottom falls out. He comes back with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball right on the hands.
This guy's a good pitcher.
He's just got good stuff. He's got a good combination of stuff to get out either right-handers or left-handers. We mentioned that screwball. We've seen the fastball. He's also got a little slider that'll throw to the right-handed hitters.
Still 1-2 to Justice. He'll be followed in the inning by Tino Martinez and then Jorge Posada.
Now, Mike Magnante, a left-hander, was warming up in the last half inning for the Oakland A's. He's obviously had a seat at this point. Magnante, a left-handed specialist. They were getting him ready in the event the Yankees continued the inning, or if Derek Jeter got on base to face that string of left-handed hitters.
Hard hit ball right at Giambi. He'll go to the bag, and Justice retired for the first time tonight. Hey, you talk about bullpen work. Both of these teams here tonight. Tam got out of that rocky first inning in relief of Heredia. Then Appier, 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. Masir has faced 4 batters, retired all 4. Stanton, 2+ innings, allows 1 hit, no runs, strikes out 3. And then Nelson, the final out in the 6th inning. Oh, 1 to Tino Martinez. Martinez, the 3-run double off the wall and straightaway center field back in the first. 1-1. Into the middle of Hernandez, even a count.
Well, Duque has completed his warm-up tosses. He's going to stay down there in the bullpen right now. Once again, we're not sure if he's warming up to come into the ball game or if he's warming up to get himself into a position where he could quickly get ready to come into the game. Two-two. Line drive into right field. Pyatt racing back. He can't get it. It's off the wall. Martinez sprinting into second base with his second double of the night, his third hit of the night. Martinez has centered the ball almost every at bat in this game. The third ball that he's hit right on the button. Much like his double back in the first inning that fooled Terrence Long, I think this one fooled Adam Pyatt out in right field as well. That ball just shot right over his head. Short hopped the wall in right field. Tino on at second base with his second double of the ball game. Now Posada, an infield single scored in the first, is since struck out and popped up to the third baseman Chavez. The Yankees beginning to stir around in that dugout as we reach now the top of the 7th inning in Game 5 of this American League Division Series. Well, hip hip Jorge. It indeed was a career year for Jorge Posada. The .287 average, 28 homers, 86 RBIs. He shared playing time with Joe Girardi over the last couple of seasons with the Yankees, and Joe Girardi predicted stardom for Jorge Posada. He also drew 107 walks on the year. Chopped foul, 0-2. Tom, you mentioned earlier that the Oakland Athletics have had a lot of problems defensively this year. Only the Texas Rangers made more errors in the American League, but errors are not always the only way to judge whether your defense is good or not. We've seen some balls misjudged in the outfield tonight by Terrence Long, more recently by Adam Pyatt. They won't go down as errors in the scorebook, but they were definitely balls that were misplayed. Too high, 1-2 on Posada. Martinez leads at second. The Yankees lead 7-5 in the 7th. And again, grounded foul. That's a very tough pitch to keep fair. That off-speed pitch off of the inside corner to a left-handed hitter. It looks so enticing, but the pitch is so far off speed that the hitter's invariably going to be out in front of it and pull the ball harmlessly foul down the first baseline. Too far inside with a fastball to even a count. High fly ball into right center field. Long with a beat on this one. And he's got it for the second out. Martinez tags up and he'll advance on to third. Posada 1 for 4 in the game. And the inning continues for Luis Sojo.
Now batting, second baseman Luis Sojo.
Sojo knocked in a run with a fly ball to center field in a 6-run first inning. Has since popped up to Ben Grieve and left and fouled out to the catcher. Big run over there at third base. And a ground ball to short. Tejada bobbles, throws in time. 1 hit, 1 left, middle of the 7th. Still a 2-run game. We're back in Oakland, and let's take a look at our Toyota game summary. The Yankees was 6 in the opening inning. Chuck Knobloch with 2 hits in that 6-run frame. But the A's stretched out 2 in the second, 1 in the third, the Justice home run in the fourth. No scoring over the last 5 half innings. The bullpens have really closed down the opposing offenses. Tam, Apier, and Messier for Oakland. Stanton and Nelson in relief of Pettit for the Yankees. This is a big inning for the A's and a big inning for Joe Torre and his bullpen. El Duque continues to get loose.
If the Yankees are able to get through this inning and maintain that lead, whether it be 2 runs or 1 run, you can be pretty sure Joe Torre will bring Mariano Rivera into the ball game in the 8th inning. 13 of his 36 save opportunities this year, he has gotten more than 3 outs. But just in case, Orlando Hernandez continues to throw down in the Yankees bullpen.
Hernandez threw 130 pitches in game 3 over 7 innings, and Mariano Rivera that night came on for the final 6 outs. High fly ball into right field, drifting back. O'Neill with room, 1 away.
Rivera looking on at this point. Mentioned that this evening has turned very chilly here in Oakland as the night has gone on. It may even take him a few more pitches than normal to get ready to come into this ball game.
Well, back in the East Coast, the clock going just past 11 o'clock as it strike 1 to Chavez. The New York Mets advanced to the National League Championship Series with a 4-0 win over the Giants, winning that series in 4 games. And here the Yankees are trying to hold off the Oakland A's and advance to the American League Championship Series against Seattle starting Tuesday night. Chavez 1 for 3, an RBI double off Pettit into left center field, back into third. 42 come from behind wins this season for the Athletics, and it's fouled out of play. Jeremy Giambi waiting in the on-deck circle and would bat for Adam Pyatt. Slider on the outside corner, strike 3. 2 down here in the Oakland 7th.
That backdoor breaking ball from Jeff Nelson, so effective against right-handed hitters because he starts the pitch right at him. That's exactly the same pitch. You just have to picture a right-handed hitter standing up there at the plate as you drop that breaking ball in the outside corner to a left-handed hitter.
Giambi will bat for Pyatt. Jeremy Giambi came over from Kansas City prior to the start of spring training. Wound up making 66 starts for the Athletics at 4 different positions. Hit 10 home runs, knocked in 50 in 104 games. That one back to the screen, ball 1.
Jeremy spoke in class today. Had a big month of September along with his brother Jason, who had MVP type numbers in the month. Giambi family must be very proud of him.
I would think they are. Brother Jason hit 400 with 13 homers in September. Breaking ball on the outside corner of strike. Well, you are seeing tonight why the New York Yankees have won back-to-back World Championships and 3 World Series titles in the last 4 years. This bullpen again. Pettit clearly did not have it tonight. 3 2/3 innings, allowed 10 hits, 5 earned runs. Stanton in 2 innings allowed 1 hit, no runs, struck out 3. Nelson has retired all 3 batters that he has faced. Fastball low and in to even the count on Jeremy Giambi at 2-2. Ben Grieve, a left-handed batter, waits in the on-deck circle. El Duque still down in that bullpen, set to go should Joe Torre need him. Breaking ball grounded to the right side. Sojo's got it, and Nelson with a perfect 7th. We go to the 8th. Yankees lead 7-5. Top half of the 8th inning in Oakland, and the Yankees with a 7-5 lead over the A's. Again, we remind you, coming up Tuesday night on NBC, Game 1 of the American League Championship Series. That'll either begin here in Oakland or in the Bronx. And then Game 1 right here on Fox, the National League Championship Series. The New York Mets and the St. Louis Cardinals, Wednesday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Brocious, a roller right back to the mound, and Messier throws him out. Messier in a great deal of pain with that injured knee. He's gone 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs.
I can't help flashing back to Rick Rhoden, former great pitcher at one time with the Yankees. Most of his time spent with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He had severe knee problems throughout his career. The way Mercier limping around out there on the mound reminds me of Rick Rhoden. That right knee almost buckling underneath him as he walked back to the mound.
Knobloch 2 for 4, a pair of hits in the first inning when the Yankees scored 6 times. He has since fouled out to third and struck out. And El Duque continuing to throw in the Yankee bullpen. Mariano Rivera was up for all of about 3 or 4 minutes as Jason Isringhausen, the Oakland closer, gets loose for Art Howe. But Rivera was up, threw a few warm-up pitches, put the jacket back on, and has taken a seat.
Well, it appeared at the end of that last half inning when Jeremy Giambi grounded out to end the bottom half of the 7th that Billy Connors, the pitching coach, motioned down to the bullpen and indicated that somebody was going to be entering the ball game. We assumed it would be Mariano Rivera, but El Duque continues to throw down there.
It's interesting to note that Orlando Hernandez has never made a relief appearance since defecting from Cuba. 83 regular season games, 83 games started. That's a strike on the inside corner. 7 postseason starts. Block a fly ball into straightaway center field. Long's got it. 2 up, 2 down in the Yankee 8th. Well, this really is fascinating stuff. I mean, we've seen Joe Torre a number of times. You brought it up already. Use Mariano Rivera for 2 innings. He did that on Friday night in relief of El Duque. But here in Game 5 of the American League Division Series, apparently it will be Hernandez to come on and pitch the 8th. Jeter down a strike.
Well, certainly nobody knows the capabilities of his ball club better than Joe Torre knows his own Yankees. For whatever reason, he's showing confidence in El Duque to come in, obviously, to get out the Oakland Athletics in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And then, unless there's something physically wrong with Mariano Rivera, we would certainly anticipate seeing him in the 9th or in the 8th, should El Duque run into any trouble.
Oh, and 2 to Derek Jeter. And it's high, a ball and 2 strikes. Jeter 1 for 3, walked and scored in the first. His fly to right, singled, and bounced out to third against Messier in the 6th. Down the right field line, just foul. How many people you think would like to have that back? Derek Jeter written on it. You got a good look there on the ground.
Well, he's using it right now. You just have to wait.
Worry about it some other time.
Derek Jeter could hit with a chair leg.
Yeah, no kid. Strike 3. Messier, 3 innings, 1 hit shutout baseball, but his team running out of outs, down 2. Bottom half of the 8th inning, and indeed it will be Orlando Hernandez to come on from the Yankee bullpen after 83 regular season starts in his career and 7 postseason starts in his career.
We mentioned he was the starting and winning pitcher in Game 3 on Friday back at Yankee Stadium. See his numbers on the season. He threw 130 pitches in 7 innings of work in Game 3. Gave up 4 base hits. He did walk 5 Oakland batters.
Ben Grieve to lead it off, and a breaking ball is a strike on the inside corner. I think it's pretty safe to say that Orlando Hernandez himself could probably not tell you the last time he made an appearance out of the bullpen. When you consider that while pitching for the Cuban national team, he was the best pitcher in the country. Won 129 games pitching for Cuba before defecting in '97.
Not only would I venture he's never pitched out of the bullpen, he doesn't even like the bullpen to warm up when he's pitching.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Hernandez strikes out Grieve on 3 pitches.
Well, a rough night for the A's left fielder Ben Grieve. His 4th strikeout of the ball game. Hernandez just painting that outside corner.
Number 12, Matt Stairs.
Matt Stairs now on to pinch hit for Ramon Hernandez. Fastball inside, and now Mariano Rivera starts to get loose in the bullpen. Matt Stairs, only 2 games in this postseason without a home run or a run batted in. That one hammered down the right field line, but foul and out of play.
Mariano Rivera once again beginning to crank it up down in that Yankees bullpen.
Fastball high, 2-1.
Well, Hernandez certainly showing no ill effects of those 130 pitches in Game 3. 92 miles an hour on that last fastball.
Swing and a miss. That one at 93.
He's starting to get loose.
Stairs 1 for 14 in his career against El Duque. The 1 hit a home run. On the ground, fair ball down the line. Stairs on his way to second base. And the tying run will come to the plate here in the Oakland 8th.
Stairs fights a pitch off down that right field line. A fastball inside part of the plate. That ball rattled around in the corner for a long time. Art Howe was asking Matt Stairs, are you all right? Ball got down in the corner, and Paul O'Neill played it very cautiously. Stairs rounded first and just kind of broke it down and jogged into second base. Perhaps the possibility of a 3-base hit, somebody with better speed.
And you may be saying, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is you get a guy at third base as you get a look at Stairs running.
Clearly not at 100%. That's a stroll in the park right there, cruising into second base. And as I mentioned, O'Neill really had problems with that ball down in the corner.
Stairs will be taken down for a pinch runner, Bo Porter. Stairs heads back to the Oakland dugout with a pinch hit double and Porter on to run. And El Duque continuing to throw on the mound, trying to stay loose. And here comes Joe Torre. El Duque making his first ever relief appearance since defecting from Cuba, whether it be in the minor leagues, coming up through the Yankee system after they signed him, or at the major league level. No signal given yet by Torre for Mariano Rivera, who has been the best pitcher in postseason history. The numbers simply do not lie.
But just before Joe Torre popped out of the Yankees dugout, he's going to make the call to the bullpen now. Apparently Rivera was not quite ready to enter this ball game.
The tying run coming up, and Mariano Rivera comes on from the Yankee bullpen. (7-5). The Yankees lead the A's with 1 out and 1 on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Joe Torre summons Mariano Rivera.
Rivera got the save in Game 3 on Friday. That tied him with Dennis Eckersley for the most saves in postseason play with 15. In this postseason, he's worked 3 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball, which runs his record now 29 consecutive scoreless innings over 20 appearances in the postseason.
His 0.36 ERA, the lowest postseason career earned run average in Major League history. Terrence Long, the batter. It's in there, strike.
It's time for him to give it up. He's a good pitcher, but it's time for him to give it up.
Well, it's been a while in postseason play for Rivera. He's converted his last 10 save opportunities, as that one is swung on and fouled out of play in the regular season. But only 3 chances, Bobby, the final 24 games of the year.
Well, the way the Yankees stumbled into the postseason, as you get a look at Rivera's postseason numbers, they lost 15 of their last 18 ball games, so Rivera only 3 save opportunities in the final 24 games. He is definitely rested and ready.
Long 0 for 2, has walked twice, scored a run. 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. 94-mile-per-hour fastball, and that's his second out of the inning.
With a cut fastball, such a fashionable pitch in Major League Baseball today. Rivera uses it from the right side, just like Andy Pettit and others do. 94 miles an hour at the letters, with some sliding movement in toward the hands of the left-handed hitter. Such a free and easy delivery, and the ball just seems to explode out of his hand.
2 down, and it's Randy Velarde. Check swing and a foul tip. He's down a strike. Velarde 3 for 4, had a 2-run single back in the second. And he's 0 for 5 in his career against Mariano Rivera. This is the man clearly that Rivera has his sights set on, not only because he's the man batting, but you cannot allow Velarde to reach base and continue this inning for the man who waits in the on-deck circle, Giambi. High fly ball into left field, playable for Justice, and that's that. Rivera puts out the threat. The Yankees are 3 outs away from advancing to the League Championship Series. Top half of the 9th inning, the Yankees coming to bat against the Oakland closer, Jason Isringhausen, with a 7-5 lead.
He has 33 saves during the regular season, tied him for 7th in the American League. He was 33 for 40 in save opportunities. He got the side in order in the 9th inning of Game 1 in his only career postseason appearance.
O'Neill, Williams, and Justice due up against Isringhausen here in the 9th. Paul O'Neill takes Hine away. O'Neill, a free agent at the end of the season. Since coming over from Cincinnati in the Roberto Kelly trade, he has played marvelously for the New York Yankees. And you know that somewhere in the heart of every Yankee fan, when anticipating this game here tonight, they wondered would it be the final game as a Yankee for Paul O'Neill. Well, what a special player he has been to this franchise.
A lot of people felt when he went to New York that he didn't have the temperament to be able to handle the scrutiny, not only of the New York media, but the New York fans. But Paul O'Neill proved them wrong, played the game with class, and has just been an outstanding leader for this Yankees team.
Swinging a foul tip into the mid of Sal Fasano, the new catcher. O'Neill, a 5-time All-Star, a batting champion for the Yankees in 1994. 4 straight years has knocked in 100 or more runs. Originally came up with Cincinnati, where Lou Piniella was a man who thought he could make O'Neill into a star. And what a wonderful relationship those two have. O'Neill and Piniella, and they could be squaring off in the League Championship Series beginning Tuesday night.
Sal Fasano takes over behind the plate for the Oakland Athletics. Bo Porter, who came in to run for Matt Stairs, stays in center field.
Out on a play, third base side. Well, you talk about a steal. In November of '92, Roberto Kelly traded from the Yankees to the Reds for Paul O'Neill. Still 2-2. O'Neill and Bernie Williams are the only Yankees to start every opening day game since 1993.
O'Neill's just hanging tough, fouling off those tough pitchers' pitches, waiting for Isringhausen to make some kind of a mistake where he can really drive the ball. Isringhausen appears to just want to stay away from Paul O'Neill in this situation, make him hit the ball to the opposite field. Bo Porter is shaded over into the gap in left center field. Ben Grieve has moved over a few steps toward the line in left.
And those Yankees starting to smell it down in that dugout. O'Neill dumps it down the left field line, base hit. O'Neill making a turn, he's coming to second. Here comes a throw by Grieve and gets by Velarde. And Paul O'Neill with a hustling double, his second hit of the night.
Well, we mentioned at the top of the show, Paul O'Neill nowhere near 100%, but you're going to get 100% of what he's got to offer. Makes the turn at first base, decides he can take a chance. You see him clearly limping in there as he slides into the bag. The throw got away from Randy Velarde. Not sure if they would have had a play on O'Neill anyway, but once again, sloppy defense on the part of the A's. It won't be ruled an error, but it was a misplay.
Now Bernie Williams, 0 for 3, knocked in a run, the first run in that 6-run opening inning with a sac fly. Breaking ball down and in, blocked nicely by Fasano, ball 1. That run at second base, a huge run in this ball game right now.
Anytime you can expand your lead to 3 runs, certainly gives your pitcher a lot more breathing room, takes away a lot of the options of the team that's coming from behind or trying to come from behind.
Fastball, a strike on the outside corner. Williams didn't think so. It's 1-1. The two teams combined for 12 runs in the first 4 innings of this game. Neither team has scored over the last 4 innings. 1-2 now to Bernie Williams.
Yeah, really, it's been outstanding work by both bullpens in this ball game. The Yankees much maligned bullpen throughout the regular season. The A's really extended after starter Gil Herrera only went a third of an inning. Both managers have to be extremely pleased with the work they've gotten from their relief pitchers in this ball game.
Swing and a miss. And Williams gone on strikes, 1 away.
Jason Isringhausen in the month of September, like all of the pitchers on this Oakland A's staff, had an outstanding month. 6 for 6 in saves, ERA under 2.
Now David Justice. Breaking ball under the knees, 1-0.
You would certainly anticipate Isringhausen pitching Justice extremely carefully right here. The base open down there at first base. Tino Martinez has grounded into 16 double plays on the season in the on-deck circle, although Tino is swinging a red-hot bat tonight.
Chopped down to first, but foul.
Justice 3 for 10 in his career against the A's right-handed closer with 1 home run. And we saw the home run that David Justice hit back in the 4th inning of this ball game against Kevin Appiah, reaching out over the plate and hooking a pitch that appeared to be off of the outside corner. Given that fact, I look for Isringhausen to throw him a lot of breaking balls in the dirt and try to jam him inside.
1-1. And he does jam him. Broke his back. Giambi will beat Justice to the bag for the 2nd out of the inning. Our game tonight produced by Jeff Gallen, directed by Jim Lynch. Our associate director is Larry Lancaster. Our broadcast associate is Michael Fitzgerald. And we'd like to say a special thanks to Mark Seguro in our graphics truck tonight. He is a teacher. He's been playing hooky, or at least he will be tomorrow, at Marcus Garvey Public School 44 in Brooklyn, New York. Pre-game show produced by Gary Lang, directed by Bob Levy. Thanks to our technical producer Craig Marlowe and our entire crew. They've worked so hard. Senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Now Tino has had a big night for the Yankees. He looks at a strike. 3 for 4, a pair of doubles, has scored a run, has knocked in 3. Runner at third with 2 away. Giambi would start things in the bottom half of the 9th inning. He'll be followed by Olmedo Signs and then Miguel Tejada. Oakland's final shot in the bottom of the ninth. Two and one to Martinez. The Yankees have not won a deciding game in a division series, a league championship series, or a World Series in a non-strike year since '77. That one fouled out of play. They did so in the strike year when they had the 3-game playoff and they beat Detroit. But the last time in a non-strike year was '77. They won Game 5 of the LCS over Kansas City. The 2-2 pitch. In and out of the mid of Fasano, and Martinez still hanging around. The 2-2 again. Fouled out of play. Balls and 2 strikes on Tino Martinez. O'Neill at third and a payoff pitch from Isringhausen. Bouncing ball over the mound. Charging is Velarde. He's got it. Inning over. The Athletics come to bat in the bottom of the 9th inning with their postseason hopes hanging in a balance. The Oakland A's, the American League's Western Division champion, winning 91 games while losing 70. They come to bat in Game 5 of the American League Division Series against a man who has not blown a save in the postseason since 1997. That was in the Yankees' 3-2 loss in Game 4 at Cleveland. Blake Bellinger takes over in left field for David Justice. So the defense behind Rivera: Bellinger, Williams, O'Neill left, center, and right. Brocious, Jeters, Soho, and Martinez third to first. And Posada will give Mariano Rivera the signs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The A's are down 2, but they have the heart of the order coming up.
At this point, the A's goal is to just get a runner on base. Give them an opportunity to bring that tying run to the plate. We've talked at length throughout the telecast how patient this A's team has been throughout the year, willing to take the base on balls. Rivera walks very few batters.
Giambi 1 for 3 is knocked in a run with a sac fly. Single to center his last time up. First pitch swinging, fly ball to straightaway center field. One away in the A's ninth.
Last team to come back from a 6-run deficit, the '96 Yankees, in Game 4 of that World Series against the Atlanta Braves.
My old buddy
Jim Leyritz with the home run against Mark Wohlers. Later, Wade Boggs with a bases loaded walk.
Now no signs. The A's down to their final 2 outs of the season. And a fastball knee high at 95 paints the inside corner. The Yankees, who stumbled so badly down the stretch, only had a total of 87 wins during the regular season. That was good enough to win the American League East. But due to their troubles over the last 3 weeks, including 7 consecutive losses to end the season, it cost them home field advantage in the opening round. But with Seattle having won their series as the wild card over the Central Division champion White Sox, that one on the ground in the hole at short. Jeter bobbles, throws in time. Starting to say the Yankees, if they hang on and win, Bobby, they have home field advantage against Seattle.
You know, it's been said about the Yankees down the stretch. A lot of critics were saying you can't just throw the switch and turn it on come postseason time. Well, the Yankees threw the switch in the first inning of this ball game, and the bullpen has come in and just stifled the Athletics' bats. A nice play by Jeter to stay with that ball in time to get the out at first base.
Now Tejada, and a fastball is low and away. The Yankee bullpen of Stanton, Nelson, Hernandez, and Rivera. They have allowed 2 hits and no runs, and they're breaking out the champagne in the Yankee clubhouse.
I wonder if the Yankees get a deal on that champagne, since they buy cases of it every year at this time.
If they don't, they should. There will be champagne in the future of these Oakland Athletics down the road. They had a marvelous year, and they gave the Yankees all they could handle and then some in this series. Not to say that this game is over, but with 2 down and nobody on, and Rivera on the mound, they need to get something started quickly. But they have had a marvelous year. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. 3 balls and a strike on Tejada. Trying to keep the inning alive for Eric Chavez. Joe Torre wants him appealed. Down to first base, umpire Doug Eddings, and he said he didn't go around.
You'll never get the call on a delayed appeal like that. Derek Jeter, the shortstop, was trying to ask for help. Luis Sojo, the second baseman, was pointing at the first base ump. Too much time had elapsed.
3-2.
I don't see any signs of fatigue in the Yankees right now.
3-2 pitch, and a ground ball into center field. A base hit by Tejada. So the tying run will come to the plate here in the bottom half of the 9th inning.
Joe Torre probably very glad that this ball got through into center field. Looked like it was going to drill Mariano Rivera. He's able to hopscotch over that ball as it went on through into center field. Gotta catch your breath when you see your drop-dead closer out there on the mound with a line drive hit back towards him.
Now Eric Chavez. The runner goes, and it's popped up, and this could do it. Martinez in foul ground, and the New York Yankees have won Game 5 here in Oakland, and they march on to the American League Championship Series. Flew all night to get here. They will fly all night tonight to go back. And I would imagine the plane ride home will be a lot better than the plane ride coming.
Well, the Mets fans in New York have to stop partying now and allow the Yankee fans to begin their celebration.
The Yankees celebrate as they look ahead now to take on the Seattle Mariners. The Yankees with home field advantage. It gets underway on NBC Tuesday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, with Bob Costas and Joe Morgan. Bobby, you will be joining Joe Buck and Tim McCarver for Game 1 of the National League Championship Series right here on Fox. A 6-run first inning, the difference here tonight. It set the tone for the remainder of the game. Granted, Oakland had more than enough chances, did get back in it, but had even more chances to jump in front. But the Yankee bullpen, in relief of Andy Pettitte, nothing shy of spectacular.
And a tip of the cap to Joe Torre for not being afraid to roll the dice, bringing back El Duque Orlando Hernandez, even though he only worked 1/3 of an inning in the ball game. Got a big out in the bottom half of the 8th inning before turning the ball over to Mariano Rivera, who closed it out in typical fashion.
Record-setting fashion for Mariano Rivera. He has the most saves in postseason play, 16. Let's go downstairs to Josh Lewin.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Tino Martinez, you know, I tell you what, 3 hits tonight. You guys, so many times this last week, had your obituary prematurely written. You've got to feel great right now.
Yeah, we sure do. We played hard. You know, the A's are tough. They came into this series really hot, swinging the bats well, and we knew we had our work cut out for us. But we never believed anything we read. We knew we got to go out there and play the game between the lines, and it worked out our way this time.
How about for you? Your obit was kind of prematurely written, maybe too. 0 for 28 earlier on in the month of September. You survived it, and you had the big 3 hits tonight.
Yeah, let's just play in New York. Your obituary is written every day if you have a bad day. So you just learn not to pay attention to it. Just keep going forward and enjoying the moment.
You guys were up 6-0. You get a kiss from your manager. Joe, let me ask you, obviously a very emotional time right now. Was just talking to Tino about this team being counted out by so many. What are you feeling right now?
I can't talk. I'm choked up. You know, I got so tired of hearing how, you know, we turn it on and off. This ball club comes to play, and I don't think there's any ball club that I'm more proud of than this one. It's not because it's the most recent, because we had to go through a lot. And, you know, we're going to find out how good we are. But right now, I don't think anything can top what this feeling is.
How gratifying, too, Joe, with the guys that have been getting beaten up a little bit. Chuck Knobloch, for example, first pitch of the game tonight. Base hit. Tino Martinez. Brochus comes through.
Well, Judge, we decided to come out. We were going to be aggressive. If we were going to leave our hearts on the field, because this ball club that Artie Howe has, they don't die. And they, you know, they were a very tough match for us, and they should be very proud of what they accomplished. But I can't say enough about this club.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, on to Seattle. An emotional Joe Torre, a kiss for his hero tonight, Tino Martinez. Let's go back to Tom.
Josh, great having you with us. They're celebrating in the New York Yankees clubhouse, and why not? They win 7-5 here in Game 5 of this division series. And Bobby, I wish you nothing but the best joining Joe and Timmy in the National League Championship Series.
Well, thank you. Looking forward to it a lot, Tom, and I've really enjoyed this season working with you as well.
Will a managerial job be in Bob Brenly's future? We shall see, perhaps, in the coming weeks. Our final score, 7-5 Yankees. For more information about tonight's game, log on to foxsports.com. Let's send it now to Keith Olbermann and Steve Lyons in our Fox Network Center as the Yankees move on to take on the former New York Yankee Lou Piniella and the Seattle Mariners.
Tom, thanks. Because the division series are now over. If you missed the premiere of Fox's hit series Dark Angel,